Greetings and salutations, Dota fan! It is I, Badger, back for some more League of Legends Season 9 playoff action, and I am joined tonight by a very special guest, a man of many titles, former Odd Otters manager, former NA Deep Sea caster, current Division 1 Chinese caster extraordinaire, Neph Sensei. How are you tonight?
I am excellent. Yeah, put some respect on the name. When people think China, they think Neph.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. I mean, if you keep saying it enough times, eventually it won't be anyone else. It's going to be Neph, you know?
Yeah, I see we have people with many titles on both these teams as well. Opening this game, we got not Polaris, but Polar Ass, and legendary Dota 2 team, no Tidehunter, except this time without Loda S4, Admiral Bolog, Ake, and EGM.
Yeah, they've replaced the Swedes with Americans and Canadians, but you know what?
That just makes it a better team.
It does.
Baby.
I agree entirely. But unfortunately, I mean, there will be no Tidehunter, as the name suggests. It has been banned against them. No Tide, no CK, so none of that Tide stuff tonight.
Yeah, I mean, no Tidehunter. Does this no Tidehunter team actually pick up Tidehunter, though, is my question.
Yeah, Hobbs is like a borderline 7k offlaner. He is the most prolific Tidehunter picker in the entire league. He will 5-pick it given the opportunity, so people ban it.
Huh. All right, fair enough. It kind of defeats the purpose of their name, which makes them liars and cheats, but that's whatever. Now, I want to get into the nitty-gritty here. We got Void Spirit finally picked up. He is the most inferior of the Spirit Brothers in this current patch. I feel like I never see this hero here. Fairly high skill cap hero as well. Does he see a lot of success here in Lads, Badger?
Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like the pro players are better at countering the Void Spirit than the high-level amateur players are. Like, we're seeing a lot of first-phase Void Spirits still. It generally has been going fairly well, so maybe these pro players have the special sauce to defeat it, while the 7k players do not. But you know what? There's also some very good Void Spirit players in this league. DKMP, Northlander's mid player, is a notorious Void Spirit spammer, and they want to keep him on his comfort zone.
All right, that's fair enough. What level is he on this Void Spirit?
I have no idea, but I've seen it in action. The eye test tells me it's pretty good.
All right, that's good enough for me. Hopefully they pick up some hard disables for it. They've opened their draft to absolutely nothing. Got Medusa and Undying, and I feel like Void Spirit's going to have absolutely no trouble playing against either of these heroes. So, I don't know, Shadow Shamans, Lions, things like that. Hopefully in the cards here.
I mean, hopefully, the key word is hopefully, but you never know sometimes. It's one of those things where the more you really go away from, say, like, you're used to casting Pro Dota, you're Mr. Pro Dota caster, I'm Mr. Amateur caster. You get a lot more variation in terms of strategies the lower and lower MR you get. Sure, we're not going to go completely crazy, you're not going to see, like, Sniper 5 support techies mid, but we are going to see something certainly different tonight.
Yeah. I'd like to see something a little bit different today. I've actually saw the Undying, well, not Undying itself, I saw, like, Medusa paired up with defensive supports, like, Tree Protector and Abaddon, and once in a while Omni Knight. Not so much the Omni Knight though. Picked up alongside the Medusa in the open qualifiers for the CNDPC. So I know playing the defensive supports with the Medusa is actually pretty effective. And we actually see a lot of death profit in the offlane of the Chinese DPC. So already this draft, this draft coming out here in League of Legends is very similar to what I see in like Tier 1 Dota. So these guys know what they're doing, man.
That's one of those things where it's good they're copying the Chinese strats too. You know, usually I'm on this logical.
No. See, Americans are innovators here, Badger. They would never copy Chinese strategy. They just came to this conclusion that this is optimal themselves, okay?
I was going to say, I'm happy it's not the EU strategies, you know? I don't want to hear about, like, Tundra and these European... I don't want to hear about Chinese Dota, you know? That's what I want to hear about.
I want to talk North American Dota. Innovators. People who are bringing out the new ideas to the scene here. I'm sure the Chinese Dota scene, they looked at this League of Lads tournament and they go, shit, Medusa was defensive support. I'm sure they were doing this a couple months back before the open calls, before 7.31 even happened. Okay? That's when they were running the strategies in League of Lads.
No, I think you might be onto something. You know, we were on top of the DP. We were picking DP support before it was cool in this league, so maybe we were on top of it.
Yeah, the innovation doesn't happen in the pro games. It happens in this bracket right here in League of Legends. These people are testing new shit out, so the pros don't have to. Well, the pros that are afraid to do this stuff outside of scrims because they don't want to embarrass themselves in streams in front of thousands of viewers. But thousands of people watching League of Lads right now, they know these guys are the real ones.
It should be a real fun time, though. It should be should be a real fantastic time. We have actually managed to completely work our way through the entire second ban phase. Talking about this one. A lot of interesting bans, a lot of carries being banned out. I like No Tidehunter 2.0's second phase bans here. They're really target banning Polar Ass's offlane player, big DK player, big Necro player. Both those heroes.
Oh my god, look at these. You get rid of Sand King, DK, Pangolier, and Necrophos. Oh my god, this has got to be the best player in the world to throw out that many counters, or that many bans because of him.
Yeah, one certainly can make a strong argument. Filski of Polar Ass is the best player in the lobby, you know. Another borderline 7k offlaner. Very flashy, very stable, so it should be fun to see exactly what he does tonight. He's one of those guys in the conversation for best offlaner in the league. He's a very strong player.
And, you know, if he's best offlaner in a league in North America, he's probably one of the best offlaners in the world. After Braxton ended up retiring, so a lot less good offlaners ever since he's been gone.
Universe too. I miss Universe.
Me too.
That's an OD pick. I mean, that's certainly now a little bit more different.
Different, yeah, that's a word for it. I know you're trying to be professional here, Badger. I get to say whatever I want because I'm a special guest, and you know you can fire me, and I don't have to come back afterwards. But I absolutely hate the OD pick. This hero is so boring. He removes a hero from the game for 4 seconds. Very cool stuff. If it was something like a Brewmaster that had higher execution, it would be a little bit more fun to watch. But this is not even going to be in the mid lane either. It's possible this could be run in position 3, though. I saw it run in China DPC in the first season a lot. This is still in 7.30 in the offlane, but that would mean it would support Death Prophet. So they picked here 3 heroes that could potentially be run mid here and no Tidehunter. So the draft is very flexible. And for the first time, Polar Ass has gone to a little bit of the reserve time. They ended the last ban phase with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left, but now they're scratching their heads. Their mind is absolutely flayed here.
It's hard to counterpick this. I mean, it's one of those things where they're playing into 3 heroes who can go mid and also into 18 and 24 picks. So right now, this is a hard pickle to be in if you're Polar Ass. no matter what, you're picking one lane that MTH can counter right here, right now. Question is, which one will it be? It'll be that offlane, apparently. It's the offlane Mars selected for Filski.
Yeah. Playing this against the OD is going to be kind of difficult. Just being able to put somebody under when he throws a spear on the side of the arena, or even put Mars under when the arena comes out, makes life goddamn miserable. Same sort of logic applies to the Medusa. You just want to be able to take her out of team fights. I remember seeing a lot of this Brewmaster or Shadow Demon or OD as counters to the Medusa. She doesn't really like building a BKB, so you can just remove her from the team fights and deal with her team. And that way you've dealt with the majority of the net worth on the enemy team. I think that's the logic they're going to go for here. The Mars kind of forces the issue. It's like, okay, if you stall the Medusa for 4 seconds, you're fighting into an arena, and it makes it a little bit annoying to deal with us. So you have to pick one to put under.
I think one thing we actually need to be on watch for is they might flex this Mars to mid. The more I think about it, it could definitely happen this game.
Mid Mars, huh? We see that a lot in South American Dota. I know Leos. No, yeah,
Dark Mago's a big guy of it too.
Yeah, Dark Mago, yeah.
Well, it's Skyrath mage into Snap Pick Timbersaw. They really wanted that Timbersaw.
Yeah, they didn't hesitate even for a moment with that Timbersaw. They picked that up as soon as they saw the Skyrath mage, which is kind of surprising because it's a hero that prefers playing against weaker supports, and I feel like the Skyrath mage and the Undying are both supports that do have the ability of zoning Timbersaw out of lane.
I'm a little surprised. I mean, I guess it makes sense into the Mars Undying, but the Skyrath is usually considered, pretty good in that hero. But maybe it's this wheel the Skyrath mage, or sorry, they don't have the Timbersaw. They want that anti-strength hero potential there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it would deal with the Mars if nothing else, but you're never even really going to have kill potential on the Medusa. The Medusa does struggle to exist inside the lane against the Timbersaw, and eventually Timber's just going to be able to cut. But you're again dealing with supports that can zone this Timbersaw out. I don't like it that much. I feel like somebody was just screaming pick Timbersaw during the drafting phase here, and they gave in.
And it wouldn't be too shocking. I mean, this team has multiple players who enjoy playing Timbersaw, including the man who's pressing the buttons, the offlane player himself, Hobbs. I mean, it's like,
Okay,
you know
that's
what?
not
I
fair.
want
That's
Timber.
not fair. Someone's got to take. Someone's got to take the captain role from, or at least like his pick.
That's what makes one of those things where usually I don't put my drafting control in the hands of an offlaner for a reason. So
Yeah, because they just want to set like the off lane is the sacrificial lane a lot of the time, and then if you're drafting, you're just gonna pick like the easiest lane possible. But I feel like
I
he
don't want to
focused
play
too much in on
Tide.
what he
I'll
wants to
play
play.
Timbersaw. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll use Chakram and then I'll be useful until minute 12. Very fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this Timbersaw is going to fall off a lot faster than we normally see it fall off, especially against these heroes here. And they still, I want to say they do have like a lot of solutions, but they don't have anybody who's amazing starting the fights. Basically, if you follow around where Timbersaw is on the map, you'll be able to dodge out what no Tidehunter are trying to do. Whereas the last pick, the Invoker, though. Okay, that means it's definitely not going to be a Mars in the mid lane. Invoker certainly could be played mid here.
It's interesting that we're seeing two very different conflicting strategies here. For No Tider 2.0, correction, I was going to say maybe they're going to run it down as 5, utilize that DPXO, run it down early, but instead they go for the PL. So they think, you know what, we actually can play late. We like PL's matchup into Invoker, we like PL's matchup into Medusa, but it's certainly a bold pick going for the PL rather than a hero who could say the Timbersaw OD timing.
Now tell me about this PL player.
This is Skater X7, Season 4 champion Skater X7.
Okay, so he's got a lot of hopes and dreams on his shoulders here as a former champion.
It's one of those things where he's a low 6K player. Very polarizing guy. Some people love him, some people hate him. I like him. So it'll be interesting to see if he makes the huge heads-up plays or if he goes for the battling throws. I mean, he's kind of a... I'm not going to call him an eternal envy copycat, but he's certainly similar to that.
Okay, is he going to be able to deal with this Medusa come late game, though?
I'm concerned. It's one of those things where I like Medusa in general in the late game. Polaras are probably the best late game team in LADs. You do not let them stay in the game late. They are great at high ground defense. They're great at late game team fights. So I would want to end the game early if I were No Timer. I would want to go with like a 2.5 item timing on PL. Maybe like Yasha, Diffusal, Heart, go high ground.
Okay, so not take it too late. I feel like the Undying and the Skywrath Mage are two heroes that are both going to fall off come late game, like ultra late game. So this is going to be a very weird timing where I think laning phase, they'll come out ahead on Polaras, and then no Tidehunter to be stronger. And then Polaras will be stronger again, and then no Tidehunter come the ultra late game. So we're going to see like fluctuating timings for both these two teams. I know it doesn't make like a ton of sense, but we're going to see it swing back and forth a little bit.
All right, here we are. If you are just joining us, welcome to game number 1 of Polaras taking on No Tider 2.0 in the League of Legends Season 9 lower bracket. My name is Badger. I am joined by the man of many titles, the great Neph Sensei, and we're in for some good Dota, I'm quite sure.
Me too. And I was curious about the Void Spirit's hero level at the beginning of this match. It looks like this is a level 30 Grandmaster Void Spirit.
I didn't know that, but you know what? I didn't need to know that. I've seen it in action enough times to know it is worth it.
You were talking it up. You said you didn't know the hero level, but you know this guy just absolutely slaps on the hero. So this has got to be the man to watch if he's level 30 on it, right?
He is a Void Spirit, Storm Spirit type player. He is a Spirit player, and he is very comfortable on these heroes.
Spirit specialist here.
I would agree, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm not that big on the Void Spirit, though. I feel like this is, out of all the Spirit heroes, I feel like this one is the weakest right now. Where the Spirit got hit with a couple of buffs, so he feels a little bit better in the current patch.
I agree entirely, but you know what? He likes the hero.
All right. Fair enough. I'm not going to talk him playing what he likes. I'm a little bit more concerned about this Invoker pickup last year. I mean, looks like the guy... He's somewhat familiar. He's gold on the hero. I feel like that's such a silly way to analyze how much somebody plays a hero, but it like genuinely is a habit that I picked up inside the DPC, and it's like somewhat effective. I saw like bronze hoodwinks, and they weren't that good.
That's when you just don't have Dota Plus, so that way you appear to be a bronze X hero, even though you've played, say, 1,000 games. If you don't have Dota Plus, you're stuck on bronze. Problem solved.
Yeah, and the enemies underestimate you. Yeah. But yeah, I like the Invoker pickup here. I think it's going to be really good against both the Death Prophet and the Timbersaw. You can slow down their early game aggression quite a bit. The Tornado EMP is coming out onto him. I mean, it's very good against heroes like Storm Spirit, but Like just being able to burn out all the Timbersaw's mana prevent him from playing like that super early game strength that he wants, or the I don't know, post laning phase strength that he's going to have is going to be kind of annoying. Like laning phase, Polarass are going to win. Post laning phase, it's going to be favored for no Tidehunter, and then a little bit further than that, Polarass again. So that period of time we were kind of weak on Polarass, and Boker is going to be able to just like play defensively against the Timbersaw.
Seeing a lot of fighting in the top lane already. The Skyrath Mars versus DPPL lane. It's fireworks up there already.
Yeah, I mean, in this lane, I think once the Phantom Blades burns through all of his mana, he's going to get zoned back out of the lane. It's just what the nature of the Skyrath Mage. I absolutely hate this hero, by the way. I think it is incredibly weak. Ever since they introduced like gold swing mechanics and whatnot, it was great at securing yourself an early lead, but it just falls off too hard as the game goes on, especially with all the defensive items that exist now.
Well, first blood will be top lane. Bloom pops the stick. He'll try to go in for the Skyrath Mage, but it will not work. First blood will be drawn by Chelomel on the Skyrath Mage, and Polarass there on the board.
Very nice. I mean, not surprising when you've got the Skyrath Mage Mars starting lane. That's one of the strengths that you do have. Phantom Lancer is just going to continue to CS while you do that. I liked what Bloom was doing, like just trying to trade with the Skyrath. I definitely went too far forward there.
Maybe he is underestimating that Skyrath Mage damage. I mean, it is only level 1 Skyrath. Actually, bot lane, Timbersaw just dies! It's the damage from Medusa and the Undying. I think he had like, yeah, it's 8 stacks of decay there, throwing the sword up, and he's died on Timbersaw, not enough reactive armor stacks.
Yeah, but, you know, it's kind of expected that somebody named Neph would end up getting a kill off into a Timbersaw in the laning phase, though. We're just built different.
You know, making a Neph's club? Are you the president of the Neph club?
Yeah. Executive president of the Neph club, yeah. Ooh. Mistake there by Yellow. Tried to interrupt the salve on Skeeter up in the top lane. Bloom came into vision the last second.
The heads up play from
taking
Bloom,
a lot
sure.
of damage. Yeah.
And we've not looked at mid lane too much, but you know what? It's been relatively good for DKMP and the Void Spirit. He is 6-9, 11-16 versus Invokers 8-0. I mean, he's loaded. Actually, top lane PL. He might go down here for that Arcane Bolts, perhaps. And he will. Yep. Another kill for Chelomel in the top lane. They'll move to Bloom. He's on the run. He will survive barely, but Polarass, 3-0 kill score. They're off to a fantastic start right now. You said it early on. Polarass look good in the lanes. So far, they've looked good in the lanes.
Yeah, the heroes are just like busted for the lanes, which is again why I'm a little bit surprised they even went for something like a Timbersaw when they picked the Timbersaw into the Skyrath and the Undying. Like, you were never going to win these lanes. The Timbersaw is supposed to be something that you pick up when you're trying to win these multiple lanes. All right, Skyrath Mage going for the El Clasico, where you burn out all of your mana on this hero.
Yo, why is the whole
You just die to tower to get yourself back to lane with full HP and full mana faster.
It's a heads-up play, you know. He's like, you know what? I don't want to walk the base. It's faster to die. I'll die. It's what, like 20 gold per hero? Sorry, 30 gold per hero. So it's not a big loss. It's one last hit.
Yeah, about one last hit. Even less than that for everybody. I mean, the bad part about it now is you've just been 30 seconds not getting hit by anything. Oh, it looks like they're about to lose Bloom.
Yeah, another Arcane Bolt will bring him down. I mean, level 2 Arcane Bolt, just so powerful. The move to Skater. He has 4 wand charges and Doppel, so he'll live. But this lane, this Mars Skyrath lane, out of control right now.
Yeah. The only benefit they have going on right now is they're going to be able to win the mid lane with this level 30 Void Spirit. Once he hits level 6, he needs to be able to rotate onto some of these heroes, and they lose another person. Up the top lane, lose Skitter again.
Died again, yeah. I mean, this time it was a long-range spear from Filski, I believe, that brought him down. So just a fantastic job by Filski's Mars there.
Sometimes lucky, sometimes unlucky.
Bottled. Alright, never mind. Wait, did that happen? So this is a weird bug right now. If you deny a rune at the same time somebody picks it up, it'll just appear on screen as the rune dying. I couldn't tell if the Void Spirit actually managed to get the bottom off there, though. It looks like I think the rune did end up getting denied.
I was watching bottom, so I did not see it.
It was a bug that was in the game during TI. I think the casters highlighted it when it came out. Up in the top lane, Bloom almost went down again. Now Skater's dropping pretty low one more time.
He went in there just to tank the damage so Bloom could walk away and salve up, which is alright, but Dire just keep losing the trades here.
Yeah. Looks like Void Spirit still doesn't want to leave the mid lane. Probably going to wait until 6 minutes and he picks up Power Rune. If he gets like a haste arcane double damage rune, basically anything other than illusion, he'll make a rotation to a side lane so his team can recover.
It's one of those things where, for DKMP, there's a lot of big play potential, and I feel like he almost needs to make a good play to help get his team to that mid-game situation where, say, the Mars needs like a blink dagger before he does more stuff, you know?
Yeah. Oh god, Hobbs is actually sitting pretty low down the bottom lane. He'll back up, though.
He is beginning to regen, but he's level 3 right now. It's only 1 point in reactive armor, so he's not really regenerating that fast. And he has 16 strength stolen. This man has very little base HP right now for a Timbersaw.
Getting zoned back. Medusa shouldn't be having this good of a time in a lane against the Timbersaw, but you know, she's near the top of the CS charts.
Rotation mid lane nearly brings down DKMP. He will dissimulate and step away from the two attackers, though, so he will survive.
Yep.
Good attempt by Polar Ass, but a better escape by DKMP.
Yep. Oh man, if he had his boots in his inventory that whole time, he would have been able to get to that invis before Skywrath Mage did. He swapped them in as he was like running away from those heroes there. He's actually in a little bit of trouble, yeah.
I don't think he'll die there, but he's certainly bothering the Void Spirits.
Yep. I like how Hull City is sponsored by Big Mommy Milkers, by the way. That's something we didn't highlight.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm used to it. This is not my first Hull City game, but he is he is a long-time recipient of money from Big Mommy Milkers, I'm sure.
I wish I was.
You're more of a juice box gamer from what I could tell, not a Milkers gamer.
Yeah, that's right. I used to be in the milk industry before I became a full-time caster. Bloom getting gotten up to the top lane.
The spear will hit, silence comes in, rebuke as well. The damage from Arcane Bolt enough, it will not be. So now they'll turn to Skater, but Skater wants to fight, wants to perhaps avenge that salve used, but in comes Hull City. It's a two-man tornado. EMP, Cold Snap, will not hit, but Skater is once again in. Cello, low, Skater, low, Cello drops, and now Radiant turn to Bloom. Siphons are now over. DP, 1/4 HP, trying to juke in the trees. Hull City runs into Skater once again, but instead, Radiant focuses the DP. Bloom gets speared, but not lashed to a tree. DKMP arrives, Bloom drops, DKMP is in, down goes Doski. Now Hull City in the 1v2. Loses his courier, he's on the run, he will survive, but overall, in the top lane, NTH 2.0 come out on top.
Yeah. Oh, Tips ended coming out into Hull City after that questionable rotation there as well. They ended up losing 2 heroes just for the Death Prophet, so this is the recovery that they needed on this Phantom Lancer. I gotta say, it was pretty nice. They couldn't keep their hands on just a single target. They ended up spending so long and their attention divided between the two of them that they allowed it to go on for long enough the Void Spirit to make that rotation up to the top lane. So need to make these kills a little bit more decisive, and things will start to go the way that I was talking about earlier. Post-landing phase, they do have a little bit of strength here, and Void Spirit did well enough in his lanes that he's able to help the rest of his team recover.
One thing I didn't mention during the draft that I probably should mention now is there is some bad blood between these two teams. These teams do not like each other.
Excellent. Break down the lore for me and everybody watching.
This Radiant team, Polar Ass, are probably the second most notorious all-chatting team in the league, and Hobbs is opinionated. Hobbs and Skater have been very willing to say, hey, you guys are clowns. Therefore, there's some bad blood between the two teams.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there hasn't been, I mean, there's been some tips, but nothing too serious quite yet. If Game 2, say it's pretty one-sided, then we'll see some stuff start to happen, I'm quite sure.
I live for this shit.
We'll just wait an hour and a half, maybe 2.5 hours, and you'll see some real shit in the all chat. I'm quite sure. Over the top lane, Arena is there on Skater. He's silenced as well on the PL and PL. That's a neutral creep! What? 32 damage!
No.
That is a disaster for Polar Ass. Huge kill on PL. Instead, it's a neutral deny. They'll move to Bloom, the Tombstone attacks, and it's kill there on DP, but the PL, the moral damage there from the neutral deny. Very huge.
It was just the Hill Troll Berserker, like you said, 32 damage.
What can you do?
Even less than that, 50% damage penalty to heroes?
16 damage, I guess 17.5 damage. I'm not sure if around 17 or 18, but that is not ideal for Polar Ass.
Uh,
Uh,
I dropped it all, chat line. Hopefully, I don't get in trouble for that one.
I mean, if you think about it, who's going to enforce the rules, right? It's going to be me. And am I
Right.
enforcing the rules?
Oh yeah, probably not.
You have the admins in your pocket, you're fine.
Yeah, I'll slip you a 20 after the game for not punishing me for that little quip.
Wait, 20 Canadian or 20 US dollars? It's a big difference.
Canadian, so roughly $2 American.
You know, I'll accept it. That's a cheeseburger. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I converted it from Canadian currency to US currency. Burgers.
All right, so let's take a look at the state of the game. Top lane net worth post laning phase. We're not surprised. It's going to be the Void Spirit here at 4.4k. Then next three heroes under that all on the side of Polar Ass. So given that they won the lanes pretty hard, I'd say they did pretty well for themselves. But the fact that Phantom Lancer ended up finding those 2 kills in the top lane, then went down to the neutrals despite them trying to rotate onto him. He's not too far behind some of these other heroes on Polar Ass. So post laning phase is already making a decent recovery.
He has an observer ward on it. Where's he TPing right now? Where's that TP going to? Is it top lane?
We can do some investigative work. It's a 4.3 second TP.
Oh, it's City Outpost. City Outpost.
Yeah.
I think he's
4.3
going
seconds
outpost, warding somewhere around his jungle, and then farming there. He's abandoning the lane. This top T1 is not long for life, and Skater will just farm the jungle now.
Yeah, this is smart that he's bringing an observer ward with him, though, because he knows that the enemies are going to be kind of around here. There's a big chance that they move into his jungle as he's trying to farm this one up. And there's not really space for him to farm elsewhere because Invoker, a lot of these other Invoker and like a lot of his team is going to be playing around his triangle right now. That's where the Void Spirit is as well. So it's like, okay, I kind of need to be playing near where the enemies are, but I'm just going to buy my own ward so I vision if they want to rotate onto me and come through my jungle.
We are about 2.5 minutes into our pause right now, and you know what? There are signs of life. The pause shall end. Undying has returned. And hopefully, G's are in the chat. We're good to go.
If the other team's around, they could be. All right, never mind. Thought they'd be on a break, getting some snacks, something like that.
But, you know, the teams are back from their break, as are we. I guess we never really went on break, but it's definitely more chill during a pause versus actually doing stuff, you know?
I was told that you would kill me if I took a break.
Not
I'd
directly.
never be invited back for another League of Legends cast again. My career would be done.
Yeah, whatever will you do with your perfect world and BTS jobs, whatever will you do. We're seeing multiple Tier 1 towers go down, though. Bot T1 on the Radiant side goes down to the DP. Top lane, Siege Unit, Mars, and Undying are more than enough. It is a Tier 1 for Tier 1 tower trade. It is El Clasico for the last 1.5 years. No surprise on that one. Mid lane, though, Remnant hits on whole city. Cannon Boker getaway, Dissimulate will damage. EMP drop, whole city's half HP pops his stick. In comes OD with the imprisonment, but there needs more damage. He's under the tower. DKMP cannot find the kill, though. Whole city will go throughout and survive. A 3v1, and somehow the one gets away.
That is wild. I mean, they're a little bit less confident after it took that long to kill him, and they're close to the Tier 1 tower in the mid lane. This Invoker managed to get himself a Vitality boost. He also got a Fairy Trinket, so he's at 1,500 HP. Almost 1,600 once his Null Talisman actually makes it back into his backpack. Like, it's not a small HP pool to break through.
In mid lane, instead of the Invoker dying, it is his opposing mid laner dying. DKMP drops to the arena, Mystic Flare combo. They'll move now onto Bloom on the DP, but he'll walk away. But regardless, what could have been a kill on Invoker, instead it's a kill on his opposing mid laner, the #1 net worth Void Spirits.
Yeah, the only way that happens as well is from exactly how it was set up at that particular time, too. They didn't quite have this Yule Scepter completed on the Void Spirit 11 minutes into the game. He's like 200, 300 gold away from it. If he has it, he disrupts the Yules on himself and then Astral steps away. But the Tornado setup from the Invoker, along with him not having any defensive moves, if the Spirit comes out, allows him to set up the kill.
And we are looking at some very key items on both sides. I mean, the Yules is the one we mentioned, but also Mars has 1,600 gold lying around, likely for that Blink Dagger. And
must be nice having that kind of disposable net worth.
For sure. I mean, that's a lot of money. I mean, you could say, I don't know, Skywrath Mage, he has 100 gold laying around. He's not buying a Blink Dagger straight up.
Yeah, but he's got Null Talismans here. He's got 2 of these things. Is this even worth it on Skywrath Mage anymore?
Probably.
Building these things up?
I don't play Skywrath Mage.
Yeah, me either. Hate this hero.
You see a lot of people just buying, say, like casual double brace or casual double null. I'm guessing there's some kind of math behind it. People smarter than me think it's good, so I'm sure it's good.
I mean, he's used so many inventory slots that he has to put his crown in his backpack, though. I'm sure that's not optimal.
Yeah, you're probably right, but eventually those raindrops will become not raindrops.
It's
Spot
true.
opens up, put the crown in there.
Mm. He's going to farm up for now, though. He's going to be in the bottom lane. Once you get this Atos completed, it's going to be pretty powerful against usually most of these heroes. The disable's pretty nice. Mid lane.
Yeah, Yule's Remnant Chakram, the damage will surely be enough. However, will there be vengeance? Arena is dropped on Timbersaw. He's happy to keep it disrupted by his own OD. Tombstone drop. Radiance want the kill on Timbersaw, but Nephilim is low. Bloom is low. Hammer drop. Nephilim dead. They'll now move to Filski, but it will cost them their DP. The Exorcism hero is deceased. 2-for-1 trade so far. Hobbs cases for a third. It's Filski in the Radiant Jungle. He's on the run, trying to get away. He will get away. Back to mid lane. Imprisonment comes in from OD into that Astral Remnant, but it's tanked by a creep. Chelamello still is half HP and low on mana. Hobbs arrives. Chakram dropped. Chelamello dead. It is a 3-for-1 trade, and Dire will also claim the middle tier 1 tower, it appears.
All right, that's not bad. This is a body box that came out from the Void Spirit there was pretty sick, but yeah, they bring it back around. They take the tier 1 tower mids to give them a lot of access to the rest of the map, but Hobbs?
And we're not done. He's now out of AP next to the EMP, and Hobbs, he's saved by Kubrick. Once again, he'll try to get away. Remnant will not hit Hobbs. Chains away, he's low HP. Sunstrike from long range! Yes! Whole City 0-7 with a long range Sunstrike. Back to Nephilim. He's still incredibly low. DKMP could not kill him. Kubrick wants to dive. The imprisonment will hit. Undying should drop. Back to Medusa. At long last, she has arrived, but Dire are leaving. OD, the lone straggler, is too fast. Overall, barely even trade, but it is No Timer 2.0 coming out on top.
I mean, back and forth fight there at the mid lane. I'd say this would probably favor... I don't know. I'm not sure who would favor. It's probably Polar Ass here because this gives Medusa more time to come online in the end if neither of these mid-tier 1 towers go down. But it's been an absolute bloodbath here.
I love Dota 2, Neph. I truly do.
Me too, buddy. Me too.
What's the point now, though? I mean, it's another 2-man smoke from Polar Ass. The Blink is online for Filski. They're looking for Skater. They're in the right zip code for the PL. They see him on the way, but it's still not an easy kill. It's a 3v1. They need the real PL. Doppel is already used.
No, he's
Smoke
already used
popped.
Doppel.
Arena. Rebuke. Spear will hit into the Arcane Curse. That is more than enough. Not Arcane Curse. The Ancient Seal, I should say. Skater will go down.
They didn't know he used the doppelganger until they already saw the the multiple illusions come out when he was they found him in the trees or behind the trees afterwards, and then they're like, okay, well, we can drop the arena at this point. He's not gonna be able to doppelganger out of it.
What?
Do you remember Doppel Walk?
That was. I feel like people were very upset when it was removed, but Doppelganger's just better than Doppelwalk, right?
Yeah, it used to be a lot better because doppelganger never had a cast point a little bit. Doppelwalk was kind of fun though. But if you had your hero cursor over the Phantom Lancer, when he pressed Doppelwalk, you could see the original hero disappear and then be replaced with an illusion because it would another red bar would appear. It was supposed to be seamless, but there's definitely a seam there when you're replacing the unit.
It's one of those things where usually you just dust them. I mean, sure, at the time PL could purge the dust off with its own diffusal blade, but still, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, the high-level players had no problem with doing it with Doppelwalk. Low-MR players in the pre-MR era had a rough time, but what can you do?
So, yeah, Doppelganger is definitely way better against good players. Yeah, that's why you end up seeing Doppelganger cooldown changed around at level 25 talent.
Well,
you just got to
Kubrick
spam that way too much.
Might
before.
just be dead. He's speared towards Whole City. The Vessel, the Cold Snap, Tornado will all hit. Kubrick drops. They now move to Hobbs. Arena is up in 11, but Timbersaw will chain away before that happens. Back to our friend, the middle tier 1 tower. He is in danger. Kind of.
Well, it's difficult to fight into this with the Tombstone here, but the Tombstone plays so far away from the tier 1 tower that...
It's a 2-man arena, though. That will break the defense. They want the DP. She drops immediately over to Timbersaw, who is silenced and vesseled. But Bloom has bought back. Void Spirit arrives. Remnant is there on Nephilim. Nephilim will die to the Chakram and the Void Spirit damage. So it ends up being a 1-for-1, but it did cost a buyback on Bloom.
Yeah. Well, not all Nephs are created equal after all, so you know,
This
some
is
of them
true.
would make it out there, some of them would drop. What can you do?
There will be instead the other T1 tower mid lane, possibly going down. Exo pop the DP to immediately to burst it down. The dieback comes out from Bloom. DKMP goes in, brings down Bilski. He has the whole city be silenced by Chelamello. He'll Yules himself. Stone Gaze is there, but DKMP steps away again. Now, Skater has shown up. He immediately leaves, and the fight should be over.
It looks like they're just gonna back off now. This Yule Scepter makes life so much easier on the Void Spirit, just be able to spell off that silence and exit. Like, the lack of the hard lockdown on the side of Polaris is definitely an issue. It's only Mars that has any abilities that like are just easily dispelled and then steps away. There's something I was worried about when I saw their draft as well. So, level 30 Void Spirit player, leave it to him to know when it's going to be a Void Spirit game.
I'm curious to see how Skater approaches the rest of this game. He has the Manta and Quick Buy. I hope he goes like Manta, Heart, and just ends the game. I don't want Dire to go late here.
Yeah, I've been trying to set up like a Skater Boy, see you later boy joke all game. But I haven't seen a good opportunity for it here. Is that too low hanging a fruit?
No, I feel like most of the viewers are too young to know who Avril Lavigne is, so this is perfect.
Oh no. That's rough. I'll leave you to set that one up then.
Back to the middle T1 tower. It is once again under attack, and this time, at long last, never mind, it's been glyphed, and Dire have 4 heroes in the periphery. Filski, though, he is set up for the Blink Spear Arena combination. Filski is in, Rina's there on DP, Bloom is half HP, Vincent Flare drops, DP2 will drop. Mid T1, it's somehow still alive, and now it drops. Skater has illusions. He's ready to play Dota, but Kubrick has been Desolate and Cold Snapped. He is half HP, now 0 HP. Both supports on the Dire side drop. All 3 cores are nearby, but it's a 5v3 fight in Polaris' favor. Spear is on the real PL. Can they kill him?
I don't think they know this is the real PL. Or
Instead,
they knew
it's
eventually.
Filski trying to keep you away. He will drop. That's a 2-for-1 trade. Hobbs tries to Timber Chain in. There are no trees. It will not work. That is a lamppost. And as a result, Polaris walk away.
That is a lamppost, you're right. Rookie mistake. You'd think somebody who was an experienced Timbersaw player would be able to identify a tree.
He is only gold tier now. If we're using the standards of Dota Plus Hero tier, he is only gold tier, so.
Yeah, gold. Absolutely pathetic. I mean, at a glance, I mean, it's long, it's wooden, and I suppose it looks enough like a tree. You could grapple to something like that in Zelda.
Wait, is Hobbs just dead again? He has a Yules for himself, purging off that Skywrath Mage Arcane Seal. Ancient Seal, dear guy. I keep saying Arcane Seal, but we are seeing Timbersaw get away this time, and we've seen a lot of emphasis from both teams on defending their middle tier 1 towers. Dire tried to siege it, what, 5 times? And it's still alive.
You know, I feel like Arcane Seal would be a better word for it than Ancient Seal anyways, so carry on. Do as you do.
Like, I had a friend I used to cast with would always call Torrent Deluge, which is wrong, but it sounds correct.
Deluge?
Like deluge.
I don't even know what that means.
It's like a massive roaring of water. It's like a nautical term.
That is a fancy word. My God.
I didn't really.
Was he a sailor?
Cool. No, he lives in Kansas City. He's not. He's like literally 1,000 miles from the ocean.
Shit, that's impressive vocab though.
He had a good vocab. He's the reason why he's in radio now instead of Dota.
Yeah, makes sense. No, he's a talented one. He's not forced to talk about the video game with his voice.
This is true. What can you do? Happens too often to Dota casters.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the state of this game here. Manta style now completed on Skater Boy.
He's gonna pop the Manta and say the silence to see you later, boy.
Yeah. That's disable's not good enough for him.
We're gonna see him though in the highlights later. I'm quite sure.
Yeah.
They're regretting leaving him behind when the late game comes. Back to top lane is Skater being slowed by the Scotty of Sonic. Doski has to bring this there. On moment, the spear is missed. Now, the imprisonment comes in on Mars. Skater will doppel away. Sonagot is still slowing him, but the chase is relatively non-existent. Instead, in the river, it's Nephilim near DKMP, back to the jungle, actually. Hobbs is in looking for Dusa. He's speared away by Filski, though, so instead, the imprisonment comes in from Kubrick on the Medusa. Can they kill him? It's certainly hard. Filski arrives, Exo is popped, Tombstone is dropped, Hammer is there, Medusa is still half mana. Spear hits on Bloom. Bloom on DP will perish. They move to Skater. He'll pop the Manta. He's imprisoned by Kubrick, but can he get away? Doppel? No, the silence is there in time. Skater drops 2 kills for Polar Ass, and they want a third. A spear will hit on OD. Atos the follow-up. He'll imprison himself, but his life is very numbered in terms of seconds. It's now 0 seconds. 3 kills for Polar Ass. Major team fight win, and that will be major map control in the Dire Jungle.
Yeah, it looked like an amazing fight to take because they just popped the Stone Gaze on Medusa. They had all their heroes to come in, but fighting into that Tombstone proved a little bit too difficult, especially with how they ended up reworking the hero damage on the Tombstone zombies in the most recent patch. They ended up reducing the zombie damage a little bit in 7.31b, but it wasn't enough to negate how strong this thing feels now. I think I want to see just how much damage it was that the Undying did in this last team fight. I don't think the damage numbers in the fight recap are doing it justice. Like almost solo killed the Medusa, or sorry, the Death Prophet.
It says 1.3.
Yeah, that's not
damage.
right. That can't be right.
That's still a lot of damage, though. I mean, you can see the damage numbers. 6,000 for Polar Ass versus 3,000 for No Tidehunter, so.
Yeah, I feel like those damage numbers are off for how much the zombies did. Whether or not he was actually crediting the zombie damage to the Undying. I know that it doesn't credit properly for the amount of damage Decay does with the Strength Steal. That doesn't count as actual hero damage at the end of a game or end of fights. A fun fact.
Actually did not know that. Thank you, Mr. Fun Fact Neph. Over to Hobbs. He will dodge the spear with his Yules. EMP drop. The Hobbs chains away in time. So mana is lost on Timbersaw. Smoke is lost on Radiant. That's a bit of weak exchange, though. 8 smoke for some mana. Yeah,
but I think that was half the logic behind this Invoker pickup. We didn't see it like come into that much use until just now. But you slow down Timbersaw's like early mid game with the Invoker quite a bit, spamming out EMP tornadoes. And this guy's forced to walk all the way back into base.
Well, Kubrick appears to be in damage. He put multiple banishments out. He has an Magnum Scepter on OD, but that will not save his life. He still drops.
I was going to question your in damage phrase right there, but you know, kind of accurate actually. He definitely was in damage.
He was in a lot of damage. I mean, that's Misty Flare is being in damage, so that's 1 dead OD. Speaking of dead, potentially PL. He's under a Radiant side tier 2 tower. He'll bounce to the high ground, but Filski and Chelamello are there. PL attempts to bring down a Chelamello Scarlet Mage with him, but it is futile. It's 2 kills. Once again from Polar Ass, and they are beginning to take control of this game right now.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to see the tips come out a little bit more now. The game is a little bit more secured for Polar Ass. Neither team wants to...
Top lane, whole city nearly goes downhill. BKB trying to get away. He's low HP and he will drop. Nephilim will attempt to avenge his Invoker. The Tombstone is there. His teammates arriving. Hobbs, the target, misses a Timber Chain. Now, Mystic Flare is up with that Ancient Seal. This time, Hobbs will drop. There's 1 core kill for 1 core kill in the top lane. Overall, though, still good across the map for Polar Ass.
Okay.
Now, do you see that punch from the Timbersaw finishing off the BKB Invoker? That was impressive stuff.
A lot of times you see a hero at Timbersaw, sometimes you forget you can right-click, but
yeah.
This time you did not.
You did not forget that. Remember when he had a plus 100 damage talent?
I thought the 120. Wasn't it 120?
It was something crazy high. It was so he could take towers.
Bottom lane, it is Sonagod in danger. Can Filski save him? He's silenced from Void Spirit. A fantastic Void Spirit silence to prevent Filski from saving his Medusa. The arena is now there on 2. But Sonagod's still alive! Sonagod! He's killing Bloom, he's killing DKMP! Now Medusa will drop! But it's a 2-for-1 trade somehow, someway. A 2-for-4 works out for the 2, and the XDs with 5 Ds are in the chat, and the instant no-L comes out from Hobbs.
He ripped apart that. I am very surprised that this Medusa hasn't ended up finishing up this Yasha into a Manta style. She didn't end up getting punished for it there, but she is so tanky that she's able to stand her ground against all those heroes. And like you mentioned, did end up bringing down that that Void Spirit there. So mega kill streak going the way of Medusa prior to that. So I'd say this does benefit Polar Ass, man.
Ends up being gold-wise nearly a wash. 20 gold in favor of No Tidehunter. Despite trading 2-for-1, they actually end up gaining 20 gold in that play somehow. I guess Dusa is just that farmed. I mean, 17,000 net worth on Dusa versus 12,000 on Phantom Lancer. That is a significant carry delta right there.
Yeah. I mean, it's not surprising. Medusa is an amazing hero at farming. She's one of the people who doesn't really slow down by the current jungle. So, Skater is going to be struggling a little bit compared to her. The issue with the Maelstrom on Medusa this game as well, you rarely see that.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised as well. It's the anti-PL tech. But yeah, speaking of Bloom, he just walked in with the smoke into Chelamello and died.
There was no reason for him to be there on the enemy team side of the river.
I was watching him do it the entire time, and I'm still not quite sure how he got there.
I kind of moved my camera to where where people should be, so I definitely didn't see that one happening.
I have the amateur experience. I'm used to these games, but he just walked up and died. But what can you do? It's Dota 2 for you sometimes.
Well, the amateur experience is a superior way of doing things. You see people move into each other, that's the optimal way of doing things. You miss a lot less kills that way. My brain kind of goes on autopilot.
Roshan drop. The double damage maneuver got denied for some reason, but Sonagabo grabbed the Aegis.
He designed it, I think, in the bottom river. I think he was worried about how long it would take his team to get over there.
Radiant are scanning.
And that somebody might, Void Spirit might come pick it up and get the kill onto him if he left it at the bottom part of the river, because Void Spirit was off the map. That's the only logic I can offer you for that double damage room getting denied there.
Over the mid lane, Sonagod is very tanky. He has two lines,
you
but
don't
he is
want to
somewhat
initiate onto
alone. They want Medusa. Hobbs is in. They will imprison him from Kubrick. Now, in comes the Astral Remnant. He's taunted on Dusa, but still pretty high on mana. Nephilim has a tombstone on the floor. Seems like no Tidehunter are backing off, but it's Kubrick on the right side of the tri-camp. Imprisoning one, but now he's in a 1v5. He's speared, drops his hands and clips, but he will drop on the OD, so one death there on Kubrick. And, well, perhaps if you're Polar Ass in that 5v4, you might hit the tier 2 tower, but NTH, no Tidehunter, there's no playing nearby.
I'm surprised that they're even hanging around this tower. Maybe they're hoping they make a mistake here on Polar Ass, but I doubt they're going to.
We are seeing Bloom distract.
Actually, yeah, they're making
city.
a mistake. Yeah. Voker, if he goes any further away from the Medusa, then he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. So Medusa just wants to be able to stay in her ground here and take the mid-tier. But she's walking away. They're wasting a lot of time here, man.
And this tower is nearly in pristine condition, 9/10 HP remaining, and more than that, actually. So it's very healthy right now. But Alacrity Medusa, now it begins to take some damage.
Yeah. I'll make quick work of this one. Again, still surprised that Medusa hasn't gone back and finished up this Mantis Eye. We saw at the beginning of that previous fight. She ended up losing half her mana before she was able to click anything or press a Stone Gauge. Yes, they weren't able to blow her up, but this Phantom Lance is a little bit bigger. Then you're going to be able to want to pop that Mantis Style plus Stone Gaze. So she's got to get with that one completed next. Actually, I really want to see that one done before she finishes the Butterfly.
I would not be too shocked if he goes S&Y. He's a big S&Y player. Back to Kubrick. He's once again in the Strat Camp, but once again in the Strat Camp, he's dying. Sunstrike. Perfect from Whole City. From half the map away. One more kill for Polar Ass. With the way Sonic got things, you might be thinking, hey, if I go S&Y, I get the resistance for the imprisonment type thing. Which is definitely, I think, an odd line of thinking, but I think it's the way he would think here.
Yeah. This style's resistance for the enemies putting you under is decent, I suppose. But again, you're playing against two silences, the Death Prophet and the Void Spirit with his Resident Pulse and Aghanim Scepter.
He seems to have no care for silences. Should he? Perhaps not, but he seems not to care about it.
Still, they're doing a decent job of stalling this one out on the other side. We're now at the stage where Polar Ass are too difficult to fight into. The next phase of the game, Tidehunter are going to be impossible to fight into, but they need to get there first, and probably need to stall for another 10-15 minutes in order to get there.
Well, I guess they're stalling right now. They fought a bit of an odd fight where nobody died, but they distracted the Polar Ass push temporarily. The problem is, there's a tier 2 tower right there. They just walk on over.
Yeah.
They attack that one once again.
Yeah, they've got a minute and 20 seconds to make this happen. They're just optimal strength for Polar Ass. Medusa's Butterfly isn't quite done. It's being flown out to her right now with the Quarterstaff. And then she needs to sit this courier at the Secret Shop, finish up this Talisman of Evasion. It's good against PL, because it gives you way more EHP against his Mana Burn and Diffusal Blade. It's like the optimal tanky item, the Butterfly, up against heroes like Anti-Mage.
Well, Chakram is attempting to defend, but Medusa, once again, with 2 lives for a minute longer, does not care. T3 bottom lane will collapse. Whole City and Bilski walk high ground, and all 3 cores are hitting buildings. Range racks fall. Melees are under duress. Currently, Tidehunter will actually have their Timbersaw get speared and stunned. He'll Eul's himself, but can he get away? No, he will not. He's silenced and brought down. 1 more kill for Polar Ass, and they are balling out of control right now.
Yeah, this is fine. As long as they don't lose anything else. It sucks they end up losing a Rax, but they're bound to lose something. They back up on the rest of their team. So Medusa's Aegis is expiring in the next 14 seconds. At this point, they're going to want to be able to try to take a team fight. Skater's going to finish up his heart and fight into them, but he still needs like 1 more item until he's strong enough to fight the Medusa 1v1.
I think ideally, if you're PL, you want to be like, maybe half an item at most behind Medusa, but he is a full item and then some behind Medusa, which is never ideal.
Yeah.
They say Skater has plus, I don't know, heart plus another item right now. But then Medusa is very killable, but instead Medusa is still very unkillable.
Okay, yeah, he's got heart completed. Does he buy back alongside the heart? No, he needs a little bit more gold for this one.
And he might be in danger right now. He'll Manta off the concussive shots. Skater will Doppel. He'll get away this time. Laying with danger, but he gets away.
Okay, so in order for them to win these team fights, Timbersaw needs to distract the Medusa, or Medusa needs to get put under by the OD, and PL kills the backline because he's too tanky for anyone other than Medusa to deal with now. So the fights are winnable, but this far behind on the PL, it's hard.
Well, it is actually Undying being stepped on, but the damage is not enough. Instead, Arena drops, Stonegates is there, and Skater drops with no buyback. Fire will attempt to defend, but without Skater. That is 1 hard defense. T3 mid goes down. They're trying to use the chakrams, but the buildings, they're dying. Blink Spear, it's dodged by Hobbs. Imprisonment is there, though, on the march. Instead, Medusa will hit the buildings. She's no mana remaining, but the damage from Dire appears not to be there. Hammer is dropped by Kubrick, but Sonagod simply walks away. 2 sets of racks are down, and Dire are chasing. Remnant will hit. Can they get Medusa? They need this kill. He's so low, and they get the kill on Sonagod. A much-needed kill, but Radiant want vengeance. Mystic Flare, it's dropped twice with that Scarlet Aghanims. Radiant TP everyone but the Scarlet Mage, and Chalamella will get sacrificed. So it is 2 kills for no Tidehunter. It is the Medusa and the Scarlet Mage, but they need more than that. They have lost 2 sets of barracks.
Yeah, they could have made the play happen if the Phantom Blades didn't just get blown up immediately. He was too far back when he made the first initiation off onto the Undying. There was just like a bad communication between the DKMP and Skater there, I feel like. And at that point, like, he got baited forward in the PL, but he speared on the side of the arena. Stone gazed up and then finished off by the Medusa. Unfortunate way to take that team fight. And you bring it back a little bit with these wave pushing naturally, only 1 set of racks left. It's possible to recover from this one, but it is very hard.
Well, I was saying, it feels like if Polar Ass play properly, it's hard for them to lose. Those wait out the next Roshan, head on in there, free second Aegis, free Aghanim Shard, push in top lane, control Dire jungle. But Dire, they're not sitting on their laurels. They're going now with a 2-man smoke. It's DP and Void Spirit, looking for a big kill. They find Undying, certainly a kill. Sentry Ward drops, Siphon is there, Nephilim is 1/3 HP. They can kill him, right?
Yeah,
yes, they will. Tombstone is dropped, though. Perhaps Radiant with Vengeance. Bloom's TP gets cancelled. Filski is there. Spear will stun. Bloom certainly will drop, but over to DKMP. Can he get away? He'll BKB off the Atos from Celomello, so DKMP escapes. But it's only 1-for-1 trade. DP for Undying.
DP for Undying, and this does favor Polar Ass, actually, because he forced to use the 9-second BKB on the Void Spirit. That means they can easily take a fight into no Tidehunter while that BKB is on cooldown. Roshan ended up, you already got that one box. Roshan respawned very quickly there. And this is while the BKB is on cooldown with the Void Spear. But no one's going to go check the pit yet. This would be the optimal time for Polar Ass to grab this one.
Not that they're in any rush. They could easily walk into that one. But say, you know what, we'll see it eventually. They've walked by it on multiple heroes, have not checked it. But eventually somebody will. And when that day comes, Radiant will probably just grab it.
Mm-hmm. How much longer do the BKB's up? 30 seconds? Okay, yeah, they can stall this one out. Telescope Neph. Okay, the game wasn't hard enough before.
It is
Very
time for
cool.
Tier for neutral. It's also time for a team fight in the Dire side jungle. Dire smoke as 3, but Hobbs is in danger. DKMP arrives, trying to save his Timbersaw. OD has put one man under. Hobbs wants to bring down Thoski, but Arena there on 1. Hobbs is incredibly low, but not quite dead yet. Over to Cello, it's being gone on by Skater. The Mystic Flare is dropped. Cello is low, so is Hobbs still. Hobbs is now actually somehow still alive. We'll drop the meteor damage from Whole City. Back over to Skater. That's the Sonic God's Medusa damage. Back to Bloom. The damage is just too much from Polaras. OD tries to salvage a team fight. It does not work. Whole Snap Vessel are there on Kubrick. The OD drops over to DKMP. He's kited around by Sonic God. He has 1 step left. Hobbs has bought back, but the other 3 heroes that are dead do not have a buyback. Dire will glyph. It is likely their last glyph of the game. Medusa, large in charge and looking for mega creeps. T3 tower drops rapidly at this point. The remnant delays, but Whole City will hit. T3 dead. Range Rex dead. Melee Rex soon dead. DKMP initiates, looking for a big kill. Steps in, steps out. Whole City survives. Back to the Rex, still half HP. Sunstrike from long range, just off the mark. What is on the mark is Barrack Siege. And no Tidehunter know it. They have called GG. They're looking for game 2.
Sometimes lucky, sometimes
Yeah,
unlucky.
impressive stuff there by Polaris. I mean, they ended up winning the lanes. They had the heroes for it. Odd picks coming out from No Tidehunter. I think everybody other than the Void Spirit ended up kind of just falling apart, and PL almost ended up finding the recovery that he needed there. But again, this Timbersaw, you could not feel his presence this game. That one was very bizarre, and the drafter ended up picking this one for himself. So it's possible after this one they end up passing off the drafter role into somebody else. Polaris ended up playing a clean game number 1.
I feel like No Tidehunter are not stylistically mashing up well, which is hard, because when a team with Polaris can beat you in the lanes, that's not good. Because this is a team that often struggles in the laning phase. They love their... I mean, they have good side lane core players. Sonic God, Philski, both around 7k players, but generally speaking, their strength is not the lanes. And when you lose the lanes like that against a team like this, it's very bad.
Yeah. So hopefully they work on that a little bit for game number 2. But again, this Death Prophet, this Timbersaw, I could not really feel the presence of in this game number 1. So a couple things they could tune. I feel like they had no issue winning the game if they did that, because this Void Spirit, very sick player, but coordination was a little bit off, and draft was a little bit off. They were good players put in a bad situation for this game number 1.
Maybe game 2 we'll see vengeance. It's one of those things for No Tidehunter 2.0 and Polaris. They both played in the same group. There were 11 teams in the group. No Tidehunter finished 2nd place. Polaris finished 8th place. So in the group stage, NTH clearly the better outfit. But right now, in the playoffs, Polaris, they've been on fire.
Yeah, they have been. But I'm trying to just think about a couple of things in different lanes, but I think a lot of this just does come down to drafts. Like you mentioned, it was too difficult fighting into this Undying. They couldn't make enough things happen on the map. Post laning phase, they started to try to take those like mid tier 1 tower. They forced that one, or tried to force that one a little bit too hard. Never ended up grabbing it when they needed to. But clean gameplay from them. Other than that,
Man, I want a better game 2 than that. I want a better game 2. I'm just gonna say it. I want a more exciting game 2.
we'll see about my coordinator just went down.
I will wait for you, don't worry. We have a
Thank
restart going on from one of the players anyway, so it's a little bit delayed. We're still looking for pick/side selection for Polaris. They lost the coin flip in game 1. No Tidehunter won it. They chose 2nd pick. So now Polaris will have their choice of 2nd pick if they want it. They have not selected yet, so we're still waiting. We're chilling.
All right, yeah, looks like they replaced, or a couple of their players need a restart. So yeah, I want to see more fun here for this game. I absolutely hate the Skywrath Mage. He actually had the highest kills on his team there. He ended up coming out of the laning phase, just popping off, dying a couple times afterwards. But More here's with stuns. I want to see Earthshaker in this game. I want to see Earth Spirit in this game. Are there any players here who play Earth Spirit or Rubik?
Which team?
Either.
I know Polar Ass have a Rubik player and they have an Earth Spirit. Correction. They have an Earthshaker player and a Root player on Polar Ass. I don't think they play Earth Spirit. I think Tidehunter is the opposite. I've never seen. I'm sure they can play Rubik. Kubrick can surely play Rubik, and I'm sure he can play Earth Spirit as well. But I've never seen him play Shaker. Have I? Actually, I'm looking this up.
Fair enough. I love me some Earth Spirit gameplay.
I'm on the research.
Plays so fast. The hero plays so fast.
All right, let's see here. Let's go to No Tidehunter 2.0 picks and bans, shall we? You want an Earth Spirit and Earthshaker?
Yeah.
They have picked Earthshaker 3 times with an 100% win rate. They have picked Earth Spirit 3 times as well with a 66% win rate. So you know what? Between those two heroes, 5-1. So maybe we'll see ES or ES this game.
I love it. Or potentially an ES from the mid lane.
It wouldn't shock me,
This guy was a spirit specialist.
He is. I mean, it's probably his 3rd best spirit, but you know what? It might be his 3rd best hero, so why not go for it?
Mm-hmm. Is he even on his featured? No, he's just got a Void Spirit on his featured. I mean, I should have figured this guy would be a Void Spirit specialist just based on his profile picture alone. He's a level 26 Ember Spirit, 30 Storm Spirit, and 30 Void Spirit.
He likes the spirits. Oh my God. He likes the spirits, Neph. He likes the spirits.
Yeah, he's got the nunchucks on his Ember Spirit as well. Very cool.
All right, time to ask Polar Ass if they have a choice to pick her side yet.
You just ban out as many spirits as possible because like no matter what, the spirits are going to make it through. Like one of them are going to make it through to the first phase.
That's why you just let through all 3. It's like, all right, you can't ban. There's only 2 bans, so ban none of them. Give him Void Spirit. The hero's apparently not very good anyway, so just give it to him. Apparently,
I mean, he made it look good that game. Most effective player on his team for sure.
But is that the player or the hero?
That's probably the player. You're right.
Like, I know Team Spirit does their like tier list thingies. I see their posts on Twitter all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Toronto Tokyo put out a mid lane tier list. I want to say Void Spirit was like a D tier hero the way he rated it. So you know what? Maybe it's the player and not the hero in that case.
True. I mean, again, it makes sense. I haven't seen much Void Spirit picked up. Maybe just Toronto Tokyo doesn't want to play that much Void Spirit. He feels like the hero is that tier for him. I think Maposhka or something like that ended up posting the fact that Pudge was like super S tier or something like that as a port, which I half think was a troll. But still, the man ain't right in the head. Even joking about that one. Position 5 Pudge support.
You know what? Not in the head. Correct. But you know what he also is? Dota millionaire.
That is true. He is a Dota millionaire.
And they're a select group of Dota millionaires. You know, it's usually, you look at that group, not very mentally sound. What they are is financially sound. That's for damn sure.
I think a couple of them, I heard a rumor that Anna ended up blowing a lot of his money the first TI that he won.
Just win another TI, problem solved.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he did. He just won another TI. And he's like, okay, I've learned my lesson this time. All I need to do is win another international.
Is that why he's retired and not come back this time? He hasn't won his money yet?
Yeah. They invested it this time. Now, Owie ended up doing that, investing a lot of his money. So,
I mean, he was a smart guy, though. He was going to university, like some super crazy program at UBC before he went into Dota.
Yeah. That's where I met EG's current manager. Something playing bad for time to interview Hull, I guess. All right, question for you. Any future Dota millionaires in this lobby?
Me and you, maybe. But probably not.
Oh my
God.
God.
As players, by the way, not as players. No chance for us as players.
I meant as players in this lobby. Any future Dota millionaires in your opinion?
The one player with the best chance is probably Filski, but you know, he's old for Dota. He's like 19 now, so it's hard.
19, too old.
He's good, but look like a lot of like these like super like young talent players. They're guys who like, you know, Little Dick's like 16, right?
Hey man, Fear ended up becoming a Dota millionaire at like 40 years old.
Yeah, but Fury was also a top player at like 16 years old. Like, he was playing on top teams in 2008 when Dota 1 was a thing.
Yeah, when the top players were garbage.
Hey, are you calling Melk garbage?
Yes.
Are you calling Loda garbage?
Yes.
are you calling Merlini garbage?
I would never. Not in my life. You can get away with shit talking Lodi. You can't get away with shit talking Merlini.
This is true, you know. I mean, Merlini, big fan. I would call him a living legend, but he's just out of Dota at this point. He's just done.
Yeah,
You know
he's
what?
dead.
I'm out.
He's dead.
I mean, he's alive, but he's no longer in Dota, which is sad.
Is he really living if he's not in Dota?
Probably. Have you seen Dota players? I think we're all dead on the inside.
One of my somebody I know who manages a team had some of his players refer to as the others as goblins.
That could be literally any Dota team.
Yeah. Leave it open to interpretation about who was referred to as goblins.
It could also be any Dota 2 players.
Yeah.
I think I actually have a pretty good idea of who said it against 2, but I'm not gonna make that guess. Seth libelous, I'm pretty sure.
Don't get anyone in trouble.
Exactly. I'm getting nobody in trouble. I'm a clean reputation caster for now.
For now. Could be anybody. I know a lot of people in Dota.
Time to do the classic, check the lobby settings one more time. There we go.
Everything looking good?
It's looking good. You know, fun fact, I've only ever made a mistake on this once in the last year. Problem is, it was literally, you were there for it. It was Grand Finals of Pro Series 9. The last game of Pro Series 9. I fucked it up.
Yeah.
The one game where you don't want to mess it up. The Grand Finals deciding game. I fucked it up.
What can you do?
I mean, it happens. It happens sometimes. All right, where were we? We are in the draft for game number 2, Polar Ass. They're one game away from making it back to the top 6 for No Timer 2.0. Back against the wall, a must-win game, or their season is done.
Wouldn't want that season to be done.
I mean, you don't. I mean, you play Dota 2 to win the game, you know? Like, you play for fun, but you know what's fun? Winning.
Yeah, we're all about winning here. And being able to shit-talk the enemy team as soon as you find victory. But let's talk hero picks. Let's talk bans. Let's talk the fact that even though I don't like Skywrath Mage, no Tidehunter lost to it so bad, the 13-kill Skywrath in the previous game, they end up banning it this time around.
I was gonna look up the draft from game 1, but the API is down again, so I can't.
It was on Polar Ass. It was Celamello on the Skywrath Mage, Whole City on the Invoker.
I mean,
Sonny got on Medusa, Vilsky on Mars, and Nephilim inferior Neph on Undying.
I know that, but I meant who was not banned. It's DK. It's not banned though.
Yeah, and they ended up taking it immediately. Boring hero. I'm not sure you were around at the time, or I'm sure that you were around at the time, but I doubt that you went there because the UK is a complete joke. But ESL Birmingham 2018, the entire crowd booed when Dragon Knight came out.
Based. I didn't remember that, but that's something that I would absolutely join in. If I were in attendance, I see DK picked, I'm booing.
Yeah, I mean, boring hero. He was picked up almost every single game. Nothing ever happened inside the mid lane. It was played like almost exclusively mid. And everyone in the crowd booed whenever they saw it picked up in a draft. Absolutely hilarious.
Well, good
news. The only
news.
thing based about the UK was that event.
Good news. It's not DK mid. It's almost certainly going to be a DK offline this game. Filsky, notorious DK player. Probably the best DK player in Lads. He's been playing it before it was cool, and now it's very cool. It's one of the best offliners in the pro scene currently, and now, well, as a result, Polar Ass are picking it all the time again.
Yeah, I really like what he does with that ability, Dragon's Blood. The way he utilizes that is just incredible stuff.
Got that HP regen, the armor.
Yeah, the outplays he does with this is just amazing.
You know, Neph, I got a feeling If I don't grab some more water right now, I'm going to regret it. So I'll see you in about a minute and a half.
Sure, I'll keep the viewers entertained while you're gone. All right. Mirana picked up alongside the Dragonite, so if nothing else, they've got disabled for days. The Dragon Tail is going to come up, followed by the Arrow. They're going to be able to click these heroes down. Useless against the Tidehunter, who's just going to crack and chill off the stuff, but still pretty good against Death Prophet or whoever else they end up taking here. No Tidehunter. Well, flexible heroes that are played in the mid lane, banned out on both sides. The Templar Assassin, the Tiny, they decided to get rid of here. Actually, just get rid of super hard carries on the side of no Tidehunter. So it's possible they don't want to be. It's possible they want to be taking this late game with something they have in mind for themselves. Phantom Assassin is potentially in the card, but when I think super good late game carries at the moment, heroes that come to mind are exactly the ones that are banned out of this game: Templar, Tiny, Medusa, and Terrorblade. There's not really much to choose from here. Polarisans are banning out to the Ember Spirit themselves, so they're going to do exactly what me and Badger were talking about. They get rid of the better Spirit heroes, and I guess they're trying to force DKMP into the Void Spirit again, where he's not going to be as effective or be able to carry the game as hard. And the Invoker pickup, which is super annoying to play against. They grabbed the Monkey King in response to that. Invoker's okay against it. You can play this very annoying style where the moment the Jingu Mastery comes out, you throw out the Tornado onto him and it applies the Dispel to the Jingu Mastery stacks the Monkey King has. So I don't think you really want to match the Monkey King in the mid lane against the Invoker, but I think it'd be a little bit better than the Void Spirit matchup. Though he ended up winning that matchup in the previous game, so maybe this guy just owns no matter what. Or maybe it's just a position 1 Monkey King and it's going to be something else played in the mid.
Yeah, I thought about it, Neph, when I was taking my brief respite.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're used to, you're Mr. DPC, Mr. Pro Series, used to 10, 15, 20-minute breaks. Then you come on the screen, it's like, all right, you get 2 minutes while the other person covers. That's all you get.
In Pro Series, no. Pro Series, you don't remember the golden age of the Pro Series back before you were an admin, where we had 10-minute breaks, and during the 10-minute breaks, we would do player interviews during the group stage and playoffs. So we actually didn't have breaks.
That was before my time. I made sure you guys got breaks. I looked out for my casters.
Yeah.
I got yelled at a few times for it, but you know what? I always look out for my casters. The players yelled at me, my boss yelled at me, but you know what? I look out for you guys.
Thanks, buddy. I would just complain in the lobby when the players are like, go start early. I'm like, come on, man.
I did it once and you chewed me out. It was a minute and a half, by the way. It's a minute and a half early and you chewed me out for it. And ever since then, I've never done it again.
I chewed you out because of Ricky. Ricky was pissed off about that one.
I know, but I was chewed out on behalf of Ricky from you. And I was like, you know what? I'll not do it again.
Sorry about that one, buddy.
It's all right. Usually if you're being chewed out, you fucked up. And I fucked up. And I have not since.
I remember getting into a disagreement with Nina about shit.
Anything? It's Nina.
This was Pro Series playoffs. I asked for an extra 5-minute break between series so I'd have a chance to interview players. And Nina said no, so I just went behind him to Blaze and asked for it. And then Blaze said yes. Nina was so pissed off.
Well, I'm aware. I was on the other side of talking with Nina. He was not happy with you, I assure you.
I only extended the day by 5 minutes doing that, but he was so angry. He was unreasonably angry about that one.
That's normal Nina, dude. I mean, I'm sure nobody knows who we're talking about, but Nina's always angry, so it's usual.
He's British. He deserves it.
Dougie's British, and he's not very angry, so I think it's a Nina thing.
Yeah, Dougie's great. He puts in the minimum amount of work. Oh, God bless that man.
Where were we? Lena has been selected.
Lena picked up now, yeah. I mean, it deals a little bit better with the Invoker. You don't have to play close to the creep wave, so you're not as likely to be punished by things like the EMP tornado or the cold snap. If you play up like the Void Spirit does, it's still possible you get punished a little bit for these things, but allows DKMP to potentially carry from the mid lane here if they don't plan on running this Monkey King as their mid laner. You can still flex things around with no Tidehunter quite a bit. There's your front line alongside the Dragonite. You pick up a Wraith King. These are difficult heroes to get past and bring down with damage. You got decent right click with the Lena, And I feel like historically, Monkey King is like okay against Wraith King as well, because as soon as you bring him down, you've like sit up on top of him with the Wukong's command. But it didn't end up working that way when I was seeing it come out a lot in the CNDPC.
Hey, guess who's in my Twitch chat right now, Neph?
Hmm?
Speak of the devil. It's Dougie.
Oh, of course it's Dougie. I mean, Dougie knows he puts in the minimum amount of effort, and I fucking love him for it.
Oh yeah. I have a question. Do you think Wraith King would get booed on land if he was selected?
Wraith King, no. Wraith King isn't a hero that would getting booed. Dragon Knight, definitely.
Why
I'm
not?
sure
I
Dougie
mean,
was at the ESL Birmingham.
it's similar number of buttons, right?
Yeah.
Why not Wraith King? He plays himself the way the DK does. But anything, DK requires more brain power than Wraith King, though.
He does now. They've changed him around with the Breathe Fire and the Aghanim Shard. But, oh my god, I played a game the other day. My Wraith King didn't put a point to a stun until level 10. He didn't understand why I left his lane either. I was position 5 support, and I just like pieced out because he didn't have it at level 3. He didn't understand why I left his lane. And at level 10, someone else on my team flamed him for not having his stun. He went for the 15 attack speed town before he got his stun. Oh my
Interesting.
God. All right, anyways, back to the topic of this Wraith King here. I feel like it's a solid enough hero here. Again, the main issue that no Tidehunter have to deal with is you have two very big frontliners in the form of Dragon Knight and Wraith King, but they're going to need a support that does a little bit more damage to round out their draft, and Skywrath Mage has already been banned out. It's actually kind of odd they're going to be last picking a support here on Polar Ass. Well, what support? You know these players a lot better than me. What support is high damage is still left in the pool that these guys play?
That's the problem. Is a lot of the heroes I feel like could be good are banned. They usually be like Skywrath Mage or Shadow Demon would be their two big picks for this point. First ban, Skywrath Mage. Last ban, Shadow Demon. So I'm not quite sure what it's going to be. I'm really not sure.
Let's throw a guess out. I mean, it could be a Jakiro 5. It's a blast pick that does a little bit of damage that Polar Ass could take. And that isn't even a hero that gets through anybody. Like gets through heroes quickly, but you don't really want to play this if you don't have an easy backline to jump. And Wraith King Dragon Knight isn't really an easy backline to jump. Invoker's like okay for getting on top of it with the PA, but it's still like not an amazing PA game. In fact, I would say that Wraith King naturally builds up a Silver Edge now, and so it's pretty good against the Phantom Assassin.
I'm actually a little bit concerned. I mean, this PA, it's almost like a very specific timing that no Tidehunter are going to hit with this draft, where it's PA probably getting what? B-Fury, Deso, BKB, Shard from Roshan at that exact point they want to win, right?
Yeah. No, that's a support that does damage they picked up towards the end there. I kind of forgot about it because it's a lot less popular than it used to be, but they're just going to take the Weaver for other Neph.
We're at the point now where instead of Weaver being 5 picked, he's just now 24 picked. But you know what? Even though he was nerfed, a lot of what Weaver did in 7.30 is still good in 7.31, so why not select it in a game like this?
Yeah, exactly. You know what separates the pros from the amateurs?
What would that be?
Huh? It'd be having a wireless headset so you can go and get yourself water in the middle of a game happening and no one could be the wiser.
Now, trust me, I would have noticed because of the difference in sound quality, but well played.
I've definitely done this before for an official cast. I think I was doing it with like B-Cop or something like that. I may have left it on the wireless headset for the entire time. Definitely lower sound quality, but very effective strategy.
No, you guys over at Perfect World, you run a very... You guys seem to run a very fun ship, you know? You see B-Cop just in bed sometimes, running soundboards.
I was the one running production for that, and I didn't check cameras before I switched over. I felt so bad for doing that. And he just completely played into that, did the whole like bed cop shit and everything like that. But I was horrified when I did that. Oh god, this is the end of B-Cop's career, and it's my fault. Sleep during the broadcast or some shit like that.
I mean, you know, B-Cop's been trying to get the TI, right? He needs something to differentiate himself from the pack. What casters are getting out of bed? That's my question.
That's true.
He is the industry leader in bed-to-chair movements.
Man's got a point.
Alright, back to action, though. If you are just joining us, welcome. to game number 2 of the League of Legends Season 9 lower bracket top 8 playoffs. It is Polar Ass, who won game 1, taking on No Tider 2.0, who lost game 1. The latter, NTH, are back against the wall. Win or go home. Polar Ass, they need one of the next 2 games they won to go to the top 6. My name is Badger, and I'm joined by Mr. DPC, Neph Sensei. You know, we're in for a good time. It's already a stun there on Tide in the dire side jungle, into the Dragon Tail, into the arrow. Can they get Tide right now? He's 1/3 HP. That's certainly a kill. Who gets the first blood, though? It will be Cello Mellow on the Mirana. Interesting choice, but it's still first blood nonetheless.
I mean, this guy just wanted to claim the kill for themselves. You saw him 13 kills in the previous game on the Skywrath Mage. This guy does not give a shit. Just wants his stats padded at the end, man.
You know what? It's like, it's one of those things where as long as you get the W, you might as well have the stats. And right now, it's 1 W, and currently they're in the winning position after literally 0 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be 3 runes as well, so this is not only first blood, but usually it's like first blood for 3 runes. But it's first blood and 3 runes.
Open GPM. Oh my god, 30,000 GPM on the Marana.
Yeah, still 5,000. That's actually a lot of GPM. This is record-breaking GPM right now. Unfortunately, it's going down, but this is the nature of these things.
Mm-hmm.
I actually may have opened it to see the 30,000, but I saw 6,000. Well, mid lane it is Pulse City back on the Invoker, but this time it is Lina for DKMP. Range creep is secured for Lina, so that's a good start for DKMP. Usually, honestly, this is a Lina favored lane. That's correct, right?
Yeah, I mean, Lina's going to be able to farm this one out faster than the Invoker, so not as only favored by her having like more base damage and being able to clear out the way faster, but she's also going to be able to move over to the small camp and clear that one out with Dragon Slave and Fiery Soul.
Actually, a little bit shocked Polar Ass didn't block the small camp. I know they've done it in other series, but this time it says, you know what? Even though it's a Lina, we don't care.
It's done surprisingly little. You can basically tell who plays more scrims by how often these camps are blocked.
Well, bot lane. Bloom is in danger of being... Yeah, the kills there for Cello Mellow again. 2 kills in the game, both for Cello. He's 2-0. Remainder of the field, 0 kills.
Taken out. And Courier is taken out as well. Oh my god, this man is slaughtering all the animals.
He is a natural born killer right now. He is out of control.
All right. Neph, he managed to catch that one out. All right. Weaver's actually afraid to send his courier out right now. You can see it waiting by the tier 2 tower with the sages asking observers and sentries and whatnot. And this ward will spot it if he tries to send it forward.
Hey, Kubrick is just dead. That was a fantastic player from Sonic. He found the Monkey King with the Quelling Blade, stunning him, and with the creeps as well. The damage is just too much. Kubrick dies.
Yeah. Didn't even have any points in bugs yet on Nephilim. And now he sends out his courier now that he knows that this hero's dead, so doesn't have to worry about that one. Impressive stuff. He's going to try to go for it again. Oh, gets the wrong tree this time. Doesn't know quite which one EBRK is on.
Back to bottom lane. It's a stun on Skater. Cello, with 1 more hit, claims 1 more kill. He's on a killing spree at minute 2. Cello Mellow. He wants the win.
All right. 3 kills. It's 4-0 so far in Polar Ass. And you said No Tidehunter was the team that came out of the top of groups at like... what was their win-loss at that point?
They were number 2 seed. I want to say they were like 13-7 or something like that.
Oh my
versus
god.
Polar Ass,
Polar Ass was like number 8?
They were like 8-12. They barely made playoffs. They were 1 loss away from missing playoffs. It was very tight.
I mean, maybe it's just a team that shows up for playoffs. The rest of the time, they're hiding these strategies.
It's one of those things where they had a very rough start to the season, but they got hot when it mattered most, and now they're continuing the momentum. Bot lane, Arrow's tanked by DP, saving the PA. Bloom is low. Cello leaps in. Bloom goes down. So a valiant sacrifice by Bloom. Skater wants vengeance, but he will not find it.
Yeah. Mello is baiting him out there. He ended up having 9 wand charges and still had 2 leap charges available as well. He's just going to find another kill.
Maybe Hobbs is actually... Bot lane Skater dies. Top lane, Hobbs is very low. Anchor Smash comes out. Hobbs is on the run. Sonagod is trading. Hobbs actually gets away, so I missed the kill bot lane. What can you do? But top lane as well, it's a Dire favored trade. So both these side lanes, once again, they are very good for the Dire team. In bot lane, the arrow again on Bloom. I don't think he'll die, but even more damage. The trades, they're just so favorable.
Oh my god, 6-0 so far. This is absolutely insane. Like I mentioned, Illamella was like sitting fairly low, trying to bait these enemy heroes out. You're sitting on 2 Wraith Bands, so you're surprisingly tanky on this Mirana. You've just got like 9 armor, and it's all physical damage coming out from this Phantom Assassin. So she feels like she wants to be able to jump on these heroes, and she feels a lot stronger than she is, especially with this Orb of Corrosion, but it's not going to be doing much for Shallow. No. She's actually used all the gold that she's got from these kills pretty effectively.
And you mentioned the Dragon Knight with his passive plus armor, but the Wraith Bands, as you pointed out, also armor. So now both these heroes are DKs of tanky now.
Yeah. Now, I want you to take a close look at this Mirana real quick. Oh, no, never mind. You're going to look at the top lane.
Again, the tree was killed by Sonagod. Is the damage enough? Let's find out. Swarm is applied. Kubrick is low. He's trying to run, but it will be futile. The kill goes to the Swarm bugs from Nephilim. So now it's 7 kills for Polar Ass, and I am baffled right now with how one-sided the series has been. And bot lane, there again on Bloom! Another kill, perhaps! He's healing with Siphon. He's trying his hardest, but he's blocked in by Filsky. Leap in by Cello. Bloom, incredibly low. In leaps Skater with the blink, trying for vengeance, but it's another death on Bloom. Skater will get away, but his bottom lane is an unmitigated, unhinged disaster right now.
Yeah, and Zillamel was an unhinged psychopath fighting all these kills. At this point, show him a little bit of mercy. Like, come on, man. The one thing that you have going for you this game is the same thing that we saw in game number 1, where the Lina is doing a little bit better than Whole City in the mid. Right now, 47-7. A lot of the CS is because, oh no!
Mid, the bounce back into the LSA. Laguna is not skilled, though. Whole City gets away.
What? Why is he skilled Laguna? Okay, in the past, I could see why you wouldn't want to skill the Laguna Blade. It's a 250 mana cost ability. It is very high for how much mana it costs, for how much damage it does, especially compared to something like Dragon Slave. It isn't that expensive. But now, 150 mana cost for this ability? That's nothing.
With the arcane room, it would have been a kill, I'm sure.
They ended up changing it in 7.31b to go from 250 mana cost to 150. So it's actually a very effective spell for finding kills now. Before, a lot of people would hesitate using it if they didn't have to. Now it's like, okay, that shit's off cooldown, fucking drop that on the enemies. So very little reason for OCD not to go, or DKMP not go for this one, other than the fact that he thought that he wouldn't need it against the Invoker because he wouldn't be finding kills on him at all. But I think that's the ultimate reason why he didn't end up getting that kill on the Invoker mid there. Top lane.
Yeah, it's Kubrick on the run. This time he's not stunned in a tree, but he will survive. Sonagod's not quite in range. Instead, it's a gush on the Weaver, but Weaver is a Weaver. He'll be fine. I'm very concerned this bot lane for Skater's farm. Even though he's a lot of CS, I feel like his net worth... Let's check net worth, shall we? What does his net worth say? Yeah, it's pretty low right now, 2.7k. He's... Even with actually bot lane, it's the arrow instead. Balance break is there on Pilsky, but not for the Dragon Tail. Comes out, down goes Bloom. Just one more time. Now 9 kills for Polar Ass. Hobbs arrives. Gush is there on the Dragon Knight, but Dragon Knight's still half HP, has 17 wand charges, so he'll be completely fine. He's even baiting in. Dragon Tail into the arrow, into the swarm. Kubrick is low, Hobbs is dropping, Kubrick drops, they move to Hobbs, who will survive, it appears. But still, 10 kills for Polar Ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and with this, they're just going to pressure the tier 1 tower. So they're only, despite the fact that you're losing pretty bad, 2k net worth here at 8 minutes into the game. It sounds pretty bad, but given that it's 0 to 10 right now, it's not as bad as it could be.
It's about to get a little bit worse. They find Tidehunter, who has Ravage. Anchor Smash, but he's now out of mana. Has Soul Ring and 2 stick charges. But Dire seem to enjoy their diving adventure right now. They see Hobbs, Cold Snap, Shikuchi, right clicks. Is it enough? Tornado will hit on 2. Tide remains alive, but not for long. Now we see a Dragon Tail on Death Puppet. Bloom is fighting in the 1v3. Siphon is there on the Dragon Knight and the Weaver. He's trying to heal, but it might just not work. He's trying his hardest, but he's under the earn damage. He's under the right clicks, and he's under the Dragon Tail stun. Down goes Bloom. Double kill for Nephilim now on the Weaver. That will be now a 12th kill. Arrow. Ooh, almost hits mid lane on DKMP. That would have been a 13th kill had it have hit, I believe, but instead, Pole has to be content with their 12 kills.
Yeah, lucky number 13. At the very least, they're using this opportunity to try to catch back up in form. Nobody's contesting Skater up in the top lane right now, so small victories. Small victories. I'm trying to find some positives to talk about right now, but it's a slaughter.
Okay, one positive. Look where the kills are on the Dire team. 9 kills are on supports, and the 10th one is from assist only. So there's only 2 actual kills on core, so the cores are not that farmed. Meanwhile, it's Mirana, who's literally 6th in net worth, who's a concern right now, but... I mean, somebody's getting that gold. You'd rather be a Mirana than, say, I don't know, Wraith King or Invoker, right?
Yeah, yeah. And the Lina is 1,000 net worth ahead of the Invoker right now. So that's something to be talked about. And we saw Void, like, DKMP on the Void Spirit.
Top lane again. Wraith Fire Blast into Arrow, but instead it's Rady who are turning. This could be a turnaround if they can get some kills, but never mind. Moonlight Shadow and walk away if they just get away.
Going on the bottom lane, the second Dragon form ended up coming out, and he ends up grabbing the first tower of the game and probably turn his eyes mid after this. This is when the net worth is really going to become out of control, or the net worth lead for the side of Polar as. Once you have 2 towers and you have majority of control over the map.
Mirana is on the high ground right now. She is, I'm not sure if it's purposeful or not, but she is there.
Hold on. I want to talk about Mirana's tail on this cosmetic. But right now, there's nothing wrong with it because she's not moving. I have to wait until she begins moving again.
I am watching that. You know, top G1 dies mid tower. Possible under attack is Tide, tanks the tornado, and the EMPs out of mana. Back to Mirana though. She still has not moved. Wait, that's a very floppy tail.
No, well, we'll have to wait until she's actually down the ground. This person is 6-0. Is tons of kill under her belt. Was near the top of the net worth chart. This is how Mirana support players want to play the game. They don't want to participate. They just want to steal kills from people and talk about how good their KDs are at the end. Okay, never mind. This Mirana owns!
Mid-range
This is the best Mirana I've seen!
This time she... No kill. No time this time. See, if there was going to be a kill, I would have gotten loud. I knew it was no kill on that one. We are seeing in mid lane. It's the 3rd Dragon form of the game. Alacrity's there, the DK, but in come No Timer. They want to turn it around. Wukong's Falthric is there on 2, but Dire. They walk away.
Absolutely fucking nothing.
I was hoping. I was hopeful.
Yeah. Gotta have hope if nothing else. Not sure how much hope they have on no Tidehunter this game. 0-12, 14 net worth advantage. They've lost 2 towers now. The enemy team controls their entire jungle. It's only Lina with net worth. Like, it's going to be Lina who gets you back in the game. When that doesn't happen, she's got her BKB completed after these Boots of Travels. And by the time you have that... Is that a Blink Dagger coming out? That is a Blink Dagger on the Dragon Knight.
My question...
4 points in Dragon Knight. This is an insane person's build on the DK, by the way. He's gone 0-4-4.
You are right. He is 0-4-4.
Unhinged psychopath.
Tide. Speaking of unhinged psychopaths, Dire want the Monkey King, but they will not find that kill. No Calling Blade. Instead, they are headed towards Lina. The Swarm hits the follow-up. They have a Blink DK available if you can get in range. They instead move the Skater. It will be the Tornado into the Arrow. A perfect arrow from Cello Mellow. 2 tips come out, and perhaps...
3 tips?
3 tips.
3 tips.
Well, the Calling Blade. That is.
Wait, what did the courier lose?
I don't actually remember. Well, we're just looking at the Monkey King, who is. If he killed a different tree, he'd be dead right now on Monkey King.
He might still be dead anyways. The Dragon Knight's nearby. His Blink Dagger is up in 1 second. If you hop to another tree, the Dragon Knight is going to follow you with his Blink Dagger, cut down that tree, and then hit you with the Dragon Tail afterwards. I think no matter what happens, you are dead if they realize that you're here. And they're pinging this one out. Like, Filsky realizes what this Monkey King is up to here. How long do we have Tornado up?
He is blinking less than a second on DK. If he knows the exact tree.
Yeah, if he knows the exact tree. But even if he doesn't know the exact tree, he's He's gonna wait till Monkey King hops to somewhere else because Monkey King is about to hop somewhere else, and Dragon Knight will be able to follow him with his blink daggers and it's off and cooldown.
Tree Dance, yeah, I mean it's on cooldown for as long as the DK blink, if not slightly longer than that. So if Bilski wants the big plays, the flashy plays, blink, Culling Blade, Dead Monkey King, 5 tips. We are getting G's in the chat. If you enjoy Dota 2, welcome back from the pause. Kubrick, he's there. He's tree dancing away. Actually, he will not go down. What? No! From Cello, no!
Oh my god, this is the best Mirana I've seen in my life! I'm sorry, I was shit talking this Mirana earlier. This caster has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. Shelamello is the ultimate Mirana player.
And this is like watching like a 2013 Sing Sing vintage. Everything he throws out, he hits.
Put this man in the FaZe clan.
Unbelievable. Cello is having the performance of a lifetime right now, and once again, this is when you want to be performing at your highest octane. It is the playoffs. It's time to win, baby, and they know defeat. They lost 2 seasons prior to the former Portland Burnsiders team, and you know what? Now they want vengeance. They're on a warpath. This will be their 3rd series win in a row if they win it, and it's looking pretty good so far.
Are they not going to follow up?
No, apparently. I thought they would. They chose not to. They said, you know what? We don't need the kill. It's a crutch. The gold. It's a social construct. We don't need it.
Shelamello would have gone for that one.
Thought he would have, but alas, no. Not going. Instead, it is a Primal Spring by... Actually, yeah, something happening. Wait a minute. Never mind. Thought something's happening again. But alas, it's running away by the Dire. Nephilim will dodge the Boundless Strike, sidesteps that one, and he's just standing there, Kikuchiing away and surviving. My question, Neph, 2 lines of thought. Do you try to force a play, or do you wait for Polras to fuck up at this point?
I think you have to wait for them to fuck up, because everything you do is defensive. And to wait for them to come into you. Okay, they could fuck up here on Polar Ass.
It is Exo popped, so perhaps it's time to go. DK finds the Lina in the river. Arrow will miss, and now DKMP is half HP. LSA hits on the DK. Bounce strike hits as well. Raptor comes in on the 3 heroes. Can they find kills? They need something, anything, desperately. Whole City is low. Hobbs, Bloom want the kill, but Whole City gets away in time. Over to Filski. He finds DKP of Sonogod. Down goes Lina. And again, Arrow will hit on Kubrick in the trees! Sunstrike, Rayfire Blast! Kubrick will try to get away! But the Dire, they pursue! Whole City's being run out by Hobbs! Kubrick is low! Somehow everyone gets away, back over to Hobbs, Tornado from long range! Will be sidestepped, but Nephilim, Filski, the Arrow, they find the Tide again! He is out of mana! He's blinked on by Filski, with a double damage rune and will drop a 15th kill for Polar Ass!
0 to 15. Morale has to be so low. They're mind flayed right now. They're mind flayed. Bottom lane, they go into Skater.
If Skater died there, they might have just called the GG if Skater died there. Luckily for Skater, he didn't die, but...
Yeah, you don't want to dive that tower. Yeah, the lane is pushed all the way into where your tier 1 used to be. But the Dragon Knight is looking to remedy that one.
Mid lane, big kill opportunity. Battle Strike hits. They need this kill. They desperately need this kill, and they will get it. They're on the board. Big money for Bloom.
Let's fucking go! I knew no Tidehunter had this!
That's a 700 gold swing. That is actually a massive gold swing right now.
I was never worried.
Oh no, Whole City's in the all chats. He's right, by the way. He's right.
I want to all chat sad, but I don't want to get myself into trouble.
This time it probably would. Whole City might have gotten himself in trouble on that one, but what can you do? We'll deal with that after the series. Over to Bloom. He's being run at by Nephilim and Filski. The blink is short by Filski. Swarm hits. Bloom. He's fine.
Let's see.
Whole City. Yeah, he's fine. He's also still fine. He's playing with DKMP and Kubrick. They want the kill. LSA. Just short, though, from DKMP. Laguna hits Wukong's is pop. The whole city is walking with a ghost walk. Kubrick,
They don't have detection.
no detection. Over to bot lane, they find Hobbs under a tier 2 tower. The 3v1 went well for the 3. Now, it's Bloom, who finished his TP. He's stunned and right-clicked and siphoning, but still will fall. 2 kills for Sonagod, the king of both Wraiths and Skeletons. Back to top lane, they see whole city, but now he will have teammates. Tornado from long range will miss, but Dragon Tail from medium range will hit. Into Cold Snap, the EMP, the damage should be more than enough. Can Kubrick find vengeance? He wants whole city. It will not work. The arrow, this time off the mark. Kubrick appears to escape, unless Filski pulls a miracle, and he will not do so.
Yeah, Silamelo never hits these arrows. Very sad.
Short memory from our man Neph says.
I don't know what's wrong with this guy. Why even pick Murana? The Phantom Assassin almost ended up dodging the Dragon Tail coming out from the DK there. He tried to hit the blur at like the same time the Dragon Tail projectile came out, but that thing moves at 2,000 speed, so it's very difficult to get the dodge from that. If you do dodge it with the blur, I believe it will not connect with you, though.
That's one of those high skill ceiling outplays you might need at this point if you're that far behind. I mean, it's a 10k net worth lead at minute 18. That is a more than 500 per minute clip, which is a lot.
Yeah, you need to be making outplays like that clutch in order to come back into this game at this point. I'm surprised they haven't gone for Roshan yet. They ended up scanning out on the side of no Tidehunter because they thought they'd be into it, but they're all smoking up and we're trying to find a hero on their side. They might connect with DKMP. He's still got 10 seconds till his TP's off of cooldown.
Sunstrike scouted them too, so they know he's around there somewhere. They just don't know where he is. Sonagod, Nephilim, whole city. The arrow! It misses the gift vision! The courier misses the gift vision! The Fire Blast! Lito will drop! Whose courier was that?
That was
City's courier came in clutch.
Oh my god.
Sometimes lucky, sometimes unlucky.
You said it well. Sometimes unlucky.
There's a certain beauty to watching one team just utterly and thoroughly dismantle our team. Like, there is no question right now who is the better team. And it's clearly Polar Ass. They are just every aspect of Dota. They're outplaying, they're outdrafting, and they're even getting better luck. Not even Lady Luck is on no Tidehunter's side right now. Everything is going wrong. It's like watching Secretariat by 30 lengths. It's amazing.
They have absolutely nothing.
Now they're playing into 7 lives. Wraith King has 3 of them for some reason. He has the Aegis and the level 2 Reincarnate, so he is ready to take some damage. Top lane, Nephilim. It is 5 support on 5 support in action. Nephilim and Bloom in the man fight. The Swarm Bug has gone down. Bloom TP's away. Back to mid lane, though, where the cores are located, it is a very endangered tier 2 tower.
Yeah, they're gonna make quick work of this one. Tower taken down. They don't have BKB completed yet on the Invoker. I think that's the one thing that's gonna stop them from pushing up to the high ground. Also working on MKB on the Wraith King. Decided to go for that instead of a Silver Edge this game, which is an interesting choice.
On the bright side, Polar Ass are beginning to miss abilities, which is very important if you're NTH. You need abilities to be missed. We saw a missed Tornado, Final City. We see a TP rotation by Thilski missed the Tide. They need these plays to go right. Sure, they need more than that for no timer, but plays like this begin the comeback. It's a missed gank here, missed Tornado there, into perhaps a bad team fight high ground. Little plays into big plays, and we're seeing a pause and an unpause and a repause. Not quite sure what's happening there with the pause situation, but...
Sorry, G. They paused again by mistake, I think. You said there's bad blood between these people.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of stuff going on there. Very whole city is acknowledging his all chat. Over to bot lane though, they find Skater. Filski had the Dragon Tail.
No,
Sunstrike
he's
was
just sitting
damaged.
inside the fire.
No escape in that. 4 tips on Skater. Filski, not a team player with the tips, but instead of Sonagod being gone on by the remaining 4 heroes of no timer. He has 3 lives and has lost 1. Now it's time for Wraith King Version 2, he has returned. Tornado hits on 2. Sonagod will lose his mana, but it'll stun the Death Prophets. Down goes Bloom. Over to Lina. Show BKB and TP just away in time. Kubrick used Wukong's command. He's trying to dupe me. He will get away, but instead, Dire. See Hobbs on the Tidehunter. Filski pops Dragon Tail. Tide pops his hood. But eventually, Tide will drop. Dire are on the way.
Eventually.
It's a 3v1. Tide is Ravage. But even then, Ravage will not get him away in this case. The Kraken Shell purred up the Dragon Tail, but it will not matter. A third kill, I believe, now. In rapid succession for the side of Polar Ass, and it's 22-1.
I mean, they're on the board. It would be very funny if they managed to find 2 quick kills in succession here. We could have the funny haha score.
Yeah, that'd be really nice. I don't think you're going to get it, but I would enjoy it. Instead, though, it will be Skater being gone on top lane. The evasion is coming in clutch. We dodged 3 hits from Wraith King. Over to mid lane. Something is there on Bloom. But Chelamel is dropping as well. Bloom will lose the fight first, though. 23 kills for Polar Ass. The Dream is sadly dead. Much like the hopes of No Time there, who were down by 15k at minute 22.
We could still have the 32-2.
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. It would still be another very funny haha, though, in my opinion. BKB now completed on the Dragon Knight. BKB still 400 gold away on the Invoker here. So those are the only real things that they're waiting for. But even without those, I'm not sure how they're going to be able to defend. They're going to try to do a wraparound right now with a smoke
Sonagod is in. He finds Dagger, Ravage comes in. It's there on all 5 heroes. Can they turn? 1 life is lost on Wraith King. Exo is popped. Filski BKB is looking for DKB. BKB as well. Radiant are returning, but their carry is dead. Over to Bloom. He has been stunned. Into more stuns. Into a huge crit from Sonagod. Kubrick now arrives, but it's already 2 heroes dead. Exo wasted, and the Racks are once again under attack. Range Racks half HP. Dire alive on 5. Radiant only on 3. And Radiant have no abilities left that matter anymore. And well, that was their best chance.
That was their only chance. I'm just not sure what they could do from here. Without the Ravage available, it kind of felt like a last-ditch effort, but they'd already committed onto them.
Oh god, the Lina gets melted again! Wukong's fan hits on 5, the Kubrick. He has to leave his own Wukong to dodge Tornado. He's just doing no damage.
Sometimes lucky, sometimes unlucky.
Sometimes unlucky. BKB is now finished on the Invoker, and there's just nothing they're able to do. And they GG out. This game, incredibly one-sided, almost 1,000 net worth a minute advantage here from Polar Ass. I'm not sure anybody who's a big fan of League of Lads would have saw this one coming. A team that was near the top of the groups ended up losing this hard to a team that just barely managed to make it through.
You know, Neph, my team could have stopped this. You want to know who started their playoff run? My team. We were the first ones to lose, and then the Jim, Andy Bendy team lost, and now it's No Tower 2.0. 3 series wins in a row for Polar Ass. You're welcome, Polar Ass. I could have stopped this if I played better. What can you do? This is, I think, the single most one-sided game of the season. And it's in top 8 of playoffs. Wow. I'm just shocked.
I am too, but results of this game speak for themselves. I mean, DKMP was the only person who ended up doing reasonably well inside the lanes, and even that didn't end up making up for what happened in the side lanes in either of these 2 games. Mellow popped off, I gotta say, in both these games. 13-4 in the first series, 6-0 after on the second one, just finding kill after kill in these 2 games. It was definitely the MVP of the series.
You know what? I'm going to get Shello to interview in this case.
Hell yeah.
If we're naming him our MVP, I want an interview with Shello. And you know who has connections in Lads? This guy.
This guy. The man who organizes it. Let's go.
Okay, if I want an interview, I get an interview usually, so I'm feeling pretty confident. I seem to get Shello to join this group DM, and then we'll get an interview with our victorious War Support and Captain Chelamello. Until that, though, we are doing a little bit of chilling. Usually we'd have analysis to give, but you know what? That was kind of a beatdown. That's our analysis. It was a beatdown.
It's an absolute fucking stomp. That's the analysis of the game.
Exactly. We will be joined. We've added them to the group DM. We are now being joined by victorious Force Support and Captain Shelamello. Congratulations. How you feeling?
Good, man. It's a good, fun game. It's good 2 games that we played.
All right. How does it feel to be the best Mirana player I've ever seen in my entire fucking life?
I don't
Other than the
think I'm
one
the
arrow
best-
that you missed in the top lane.
I
That
don't
was
think I'm the
sad.
best Mirana player. I've only started playing this hero for the past month. That's it.
Mhm.
I've never played the hero otherwise, really.
Okay. I pulled up your page. It's got gold for it on March 24th. I mean, you probably haven't played that much of it, but you had an insane performance this game. You ended up just. I was questioning you when you ended up stealing first blood from your team at the beginning of the game.
You know
But
what? I go through this mindset where I'm just like, I'm just gonna secure a kill. I'm right clicking until the hero's dead, no matter what, because I don't want to risk it.
Yeah.
That's my mindset.
You've had too many ones that got away from you, then, huh?
Yeah, being on Polar S, you have to feel those. Yeah.
Speaking of Polar S, you guys, I know speaking with Sonagod before the series, he really wanted this win. Said you guys had some all chat prepped if you won. You won in dominant fashion.
Yeah, we did. I personally don't have any beef with this team, but I think Sunny really wanted to win against these players and a few other players.
So, how are you? Are you results speak for themselves kind of guy, or are you one person that want to lay the smack talk down when you got beef with people?
I only smack talk Hull, so that's my only person
Fair
I
enough.
smack talk. Even if we win or anything, I'm always smack talking Hull. Someone's
He
gonna
was
put
the
Hull
only
in his place
person to
when he
die,
wins.
by the way. I want to hear 0 kills as well.
Yeah,
Your
so
mid
if
laner,
you
0
watch-
kills and 1
If
death.
you watch Sunny's stream, Hull's first thing that he said when he died was, "Of course, it would be me." The first death.
Mhm. And 0 kills. Very sad. Is he getting kicked from the team after this one?
No, Hull is permanent resident of Polar S.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Let me ask you,
But,
Cello, did you guys tread lightly this series?
I think Hull did. Yeah,
Fair.
he was very calm this game.
Mm,
It's a good Hull performance.
yeah.
No, I think it was a good performance from all the boys. So I'm very happy with our games. I think we prepared very heavily. So, and I mean, I'm pretty sure this was a weaker no Tidehunter 2.0 team because they just swapped the player and were playing with a stand-in. So I don't know if they were playing with a stand-in actually. Were they?
It's a permanent replacement. DKMB.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they just got their new plate replacement. So no, we're just glad that we won though.
I mean, you popped off in both games. You were MVP, in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of Position 4 Mirana. I'm not that big of a fan. I mean, it's okay with the Dragon Knight because you got like the chain stun there.
I think it's very, very good with like the current offlaners in this patch right now.
Like Mars, Tidehunter.
Yeah, Sand
yeah.
King, DK,
People who-
you know.
Yeah, because then you can just leave the lane by laner by themselves.
Yeah.
And go and rotate, and it doesn't feel so bad.
Yeah. And then now with this like new versatile build, you can go and it's just like good.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Skywrath Mage either, but you popped off in game number 1 with that. It felt like you guys didn't have enough hard disable.
It's just one of those heroes that's just like it's really good with the new Null Talismans and it's really good with like all the offlaners right now.
Do you like the new Null Talisman change compared to the old one? The extra spell amp or what?
Are you talking about the it stacks now or it doesn't stack as much anymore?
I mean 7.30 Null Talisman versus 7.31.
Oh no, yeah, this one's way better. Yeah.
Okay.
That's I think that's the only reason why Sky was like heavily picked recently, right?
They improved a couple of his abilities as well.
Yeah.
I have a question for Cello. So your teammates are saying you are a trash personality to interview. Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I would say so. I instantly said that someone else can go.
Now we wanted
I
we
don't-
We wanted the MVP.
we wanted the
I'm
the
not
MVP.
a
best
man
player.
of the words.
I didn't want the 0 and 1 Invoker. I can tell you that much. Who would have wanted him to do?
They're like, well,
Hull would have been a
since
lot more entertaining. I'm just gonna say that.
I bet it would have been entertaining.
we're building up to the whole city interviews. You know, we interviewed Sonagod, we interviewed you now. Eventually, we're going to build up to whole city grand finals winner interview,
Is
and then
Filsky
you're gonna
next?
pop off. Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good. Filsky would be next.
We're building it up. We're ramping up the whole city, and then when the tension is built, grand finals 1 in 5 games, Epic's performance, then we get a whole city to pop off and probably ban me from Twitch.
That sounds good, man. Did you guys enjoy the games at least?
Oh hell yeah! I had a lot of
That's
fun
good.
tonight. I miss NA Dota, man. This is my shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Got Neph evil twin here, man.
Yeah.
Or Neph is the evil twin, and you're the good guy probably because
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely, dude.
There's other Neffs out there as well, but we don't talk about those ones.
We don't. But thank you
Yeah.
to Shell for coming on. Yeah,
Thanks, man.
No
got
problem.
any final words, call outs, shouts to say to the people of League of Lads?
I mean, I just hope that we can win a finals, get to the finals again, and win a finals for the first time. You know, with all this team, all the players on this team.
You guys
Instead of
play
just,
the loser of Bing Chiling and the Feast of US East next round. That should be a great series.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think any of the teams up now are just a good series to watch and stuff. So
Yeah,
it should be fun.
Thank you for coming on, Shell. Enjoy
Yeah,
your
no
victory,
problem.
and we'll see you next round. I'm quite sure.
Jeez, boys.
Welcome back, Neph. Back to me and you.
Yeah, back to me and you. I ended up ordering myself some celebratory sushi for that game.
Ooh, sushi.
I'm gonna have after this one, but I had a lot of fun watching these games tonight. Whole city. I want to say the reason why he ended 0-1 because he ended up going minus when the rest of his team was playing fast. So enemy team just wanted to punish that one. But it looked like he didn't have an easy mid matchup. DKMP looked like one of the better players in this lobby.
We are at the point now where we are wrapping up for the night. I would ask for more analysis, but you know what? I think we've done our due diligence.
Okay, I'm done having to give analysis. Thank God.
But we'll go into my favorite thing to ask my co-casters. Thank you for joining me, Mr. Neph Sensei. Do you have any final words, call-outs, shouts to say to the people of League of Lads?
Shout out to League of Lads for continuing to host these tournaments. I think NA doesn't have enough stuff going on. The fact that you continue to do this is very cool. So hopefully you invite me on next time. I didn't get myself in trouble for too much of my all chatting. Only ended up dropping that one once, but you know, I understand things are strict around here.
They're not. They're not.
Okay.
Have you seen people in this league?
Fair enough. Well, thank you for having me, my man.
But yeah, I'm going to not wrap the stream up. Thank you to the viewers for coming on in for a pretty dominant 2-0 performance for Polar Ass defeating No Tidehunter 2.0. My name is Badger. Comedy Caster Games, Caster Tournaments. If you want to hire me and Logical to cast your pro tournaments, contact me on Twitter, twitter.com/BadgerDota2 or Discord, BadgerNerd5713. I will be back. Not quite sure when, but I'm sure it'll be soon. I mean, it's League of Legends playoffs. We're in the top 8. I'll be back at some point, and perhaps I'll have Logical, perhaps I'll have Neph. You'll find out when that time comes. For now, though, thank you for watching. Thanks to Doss for the subscription, and as always, have a great night.